Welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. This is the Barely There podcast. And we're going to break down this Cleveland game tonight. The Bears are going to be frigid and look to bounce back after a tough loss in Lambeau. We'll get into it and much more right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars aligned. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago.
Hello again, everybody, and I hope everyone's recovered from the bummer in Green Bay. But not the fret, man. We're going to beat Cleveland this week. Maybe the Broncos do us a favor and beat the Packers. And then we're playing for the division with the lead again. Because either way, as long as we don't lose, we're playing for the division, right, boys?
Absolutely.
How's everyone doing today? How you doing, Jay? How you doing, Kyle?
Good, man. It was cold today. I spent a whole bunch of time outside, and the wind was just, it said 30 degrees. I'm like, dude, this does not feel like 30 degrees. And if it's going to be 20 below zero at game time on Sunday, I feel bad for those players. Any psychotic fan that's going to go to that game, I mean, dude, please dress warm. Please wear, like, appropriate clothing. I think I heard, like, people at that Buffalo game were losing fingers from frostbite. Like, guys, please be safe if you're going there. And for the love of God, don't sit in the upper deck.
Why are you outside so much?
That's what I do. I go to a shop and they're lazy. They don't want to pull in a car, so I got to write the estimate outside.
Oof.
That's brutal.
Sucks.
Hopefully, well, it does just look like Saturday, Sunday. It looks like it's going to warm up.
Didn't you once tell me a story about Jason going to a Bears game in like shorts and a t-shirt? It was like,
it wasn't that bad.
So I'll tell you guys a little story. It was the Rex Grossman game. I think it was 09, 08, 09. It was the Rex Grossman game versus Atlanta, 7:30 at night. The air temperature was like 8 or 9, and with the wind chill, it was like 5 below zero. I'm dressed up, and my 2 other buddies are dressed up like Stay Puft Marshmallow Men. And here's Jason in tennis shoes, jeans, and a hoodie. Like, it's 50 degrees outside. By the third quarter, I'm looking over at Jason. I'm like, you doing okay? Dude, bro, you were shivering.
The beer was freezing in the cup.
The beer was freezing in the cup. He had icicles coming off his chin. I'm like, Jay, you okay? I'm fine. Well, the dudes 6 rows ahead of us had their shirts off. And, I mean, dude, they were as red as a cherry, and I'm sure they were on their way to Rush Memorial Hospital shortly after that game because that was just dumb as shit. And honestly, that was the last cold game I've ever went to, and I don't know if I'll ever do it again because I will be perfectly honest with you. It was miserable. It was an awful time. The Bears won. It was just a low-scoring game.
Phil says Atlanta gave up on that game on that night.
Oh, dude, it was brutal. I gave up on the night.
Yeah.
I think everyone wanted to get the hell out of there, man. Like, it was so bad, dude. And I can't.
CTI's asking how long we all known each other. I've known these guys for about, what, 8 years now, 9 years?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Sean, I've known you over 20, 25 years.
Yeah, I met Jay
30 years
after high school, like 96. When did you live with Goldman?
I lived in Bartlett for like a couple of years, and then after that I went to Goldman. So that was probably like 2000.
That's when we really started hanging out, when you guys lived in Elk Grove. That's
actually
we hung out a little bit before
like
that.
Yeah,
we hung out a little bit before that, but we really when that Elk Grove house was just the shit.
I think they needed to take a flamethrower to that house after Goldman and I moved out.
Yeah, what's real quick, guys? Say we already got Phil in the house, Mikey's in the house, CTI's in the house, Bruce is in the house, John's in the house, James is in the house. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah,
all right, guys,
everybody.
Let's get into the shit.
Yeah, and like Jay, really quick, like Jay said, man, please, Glenn Braggs or Braggs, he put out the keys to staying warm. Go look on his Twitter. He wrote a whole piece about it. He broke down every body part. I thought it was fantastic. Just follow what he said and make sure you bring cardboard to put under your feet. If you are going out there and stay safe.
It doesn't need to be big. It works. I've tried it before. It's really basically just like a 2 foot by 2 foot piece of cardboard, and you just put your feet on that, and it insulates that cold concrete.
Yeah,
because that concrete, beneath your feet is, depending where you're sitting, could be 3 or 4 feet deep, and it's just frozen solid. So it's just radiating all that cold, and your feet will freeze. But you use that cardboard, and they won't freeze. It's amazing.
It's crazy how that little break in it is
just a little piece of cardboard. Yep.
It's crazy. But to get into this, I know we wanted to talk about a couple of topics before we get in, because we did have some people, and I hear people on the radio, and other podcasts and fans chiming in, Caleb sucks. Maybe Tyson Bagent could have won that game. Like, come on, guys. We got to stop going back there. So I looked into some numbers, for this Bears game, and I'm going to look down here because it was just it's way too much information for me to memorize. But starting to look into some of the things, because Kyle and I have been, really big into this completion percentage thing. And as I'm starting to listen a little bit more to the Tim Jenkins and the Chase Daniels and some of these other quarterbacks that are breaking down these games, it's starting to occur to me that maybe I'm looking at this a little bit incorrectly. And I do, before I get into this, want to remind everybody that in Josh Allen's second year, folks, okay, these were his numbers. This is what he did. And everybody wanted this dude out of Buffalo. You can Google this shit. They hated Josh Allen after 2 years in Buffalo. Like, this dude was being sent to exile, and now Buffalo would be dead without this guy. So patience is certainly a big key for me. It's going to be a big key for me. And if you guys listen to the press conferences today, Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams both kind of conveyed that, and throws are going to be missed. And I love that he went Michael Jordan, because Caleb went Michael Jordan today and used a quote and about how Michael said, "Hey man, I made a lot of game shots, but I did miss some, and he missed one. He missed the big one. But I put this together because as we look at this third down completions, and I want to get to you guys on this third down stuff, because although this guy might not be money and he hasn't put it all together, look at him on third down entering week 15, 9 total touchdowns, first in the NFL, 103 passer rating, first in the NFL, 8 passing touchdowns, second in the NFL, 868 passing yards, fifth in the NFL, 45 first downs is sixth, 55 total first downs of seventh, 39 completions of 10 or more yards, second in the NFL. So he hasn't put it all together. But when you look at that, guys, tell me what that signifies to you when you just look at what this guy's doing on third down and getting the Bears continuously in positions to be successful.
Look, I'll tell you what I think. First of all, this is his first year being coached. So I know it's not his rookie year. He's got experience, but this is his first year really being coached by a competent coaching staff. And then really, when you want to combine that with the fact that the guy has these abilities that we haven't seen in Chicago in forever, and maybe even like the league hasn't seen in a while, besides, I don't want to compare him to any like greats right now because he's not great yet. But look, he's great at the end in the fourth quarter. He's not great in the first quarter. He's great on third down. He's not really that great on first down. He's got his ups and his downs. But the things that you cannot teach, he does extremely well. Mm-hmm. And I have seen him progress this year, learning plays, calling, canceling plays, can. He's getting things down. He just needs to hit these checkdowns a little bit more. And who knows? I don't know how thorough this offense is just yet. I know the running game seems pretty pure, but I don't know if we're seeing 100% of the passing game just yet. So we'll see. I think his passing game definitely needs to get better. I mean, I think we can all agree with that. But I by no means think that he's terrible. I've seen on Facebook and Twitter, Justin Fields and Mitchell Trubisky for their first, 29 games, whatever it is, they were all better than him or slightly more. And you got rid of those guys. Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky are not quarterbacks in the NFL. They're like backups. Let's just put it this way. Caleb Williams is going to be a starter probably his entire career. Now, is he going to win 7 Super Bowls? I don't know. Probably not. That's really hard to do. But I definitely think he is a starting quarterback. And I think he's going to be the Bears starting quarterback for at least the next 10 years. That's something more than you can say for either one of those other quarterbacks. So for me, I think it's just wait and see. He's doing much better than I thought he would do. To be perfectly honest with you, the team's doing much better than I thought they would do. So, hey, everything's looking up if you're a Bears fan. May not happen this year, but next year, man, you guys are all going to be excited. And if he's doing this shit next year in December and his passer rating is still 55, his completion percentage is still 55%, well, then, yeah, we could probably have a conversation that maybe Caleb needs to move on. But until then, I think the guy's just fine. He's a young quarterback who's just now getting coached. He's just now learning how to play in the NFL.
I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. First of all, let me clarify. I'm not so much upset about Caleb Williams' completion percentage as I am the fact that he's just missing open throws. I mean, it's not about necessarily if every throw Caleb was making was almost impossible throw, like this is Caleb's touchdown and he's throwing 50%, I'll take it. The problem is Caleb's missing open receivers, and it's clear and obvious that he does have accuracy issues from time to time. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Now, real quick, we're going to say up to Carl, big Packers fan. Thanks for joining the show again, man. We appreciate you, brother. John's in the house, man. James Christo says if you throw 30 times, you complete 5 of them, but all 5 of them are touchdowns. Is that a good stat or a bad stat? I'd say that's a good stat because if you score 35 points, you're usually going to win a football game. But yeah. I mean, Sean, when you talk about those stats, I think those stats just exemplify the fact that Caleb has that, like John says, it's that clutch gene, man. He's really good in the third quarter and on third down. He's really good in the fourth quarter. He's at his best when it matters most. And I think there's nothing you complain about. That's what you want out of your quarterback. That's what you want out of a leader of your team. And Caleb has proven this year that in the last 2 years, really, guys, that he is one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the NFL. Sure, he has his deficiencies. He's got some things he has to work on. And Sean, like you said, Ben Johnson said, right now we've had 10,000 snaps together. We need to get to 100,000 snaps before you can consider this thing. Like we can actually start evaluating where we think we should be. I love Caleb. I think Caleb is by far the best quarterback ever played for Chicago Bears. I think it's not even going to be close by the time he's retired. But yeah, I mean, I do expect some of these things to get cleaned up. But I mean, Sean, you can't teach that clutch gene. You can teach him how to take what the defense gives you, take open throws. Don't put so much speed on the slants or the screens. Don't throw the ball 100 miles an hour all the time. That can be taught. The winning gene, the clutch gene, the God-given talent, the arm talent, the throwing off kilter, that stuff can't be taught. Either you're born with that, you're born with athleticism, or you're not. And I think Caleb, when he puts it all together and he starts improving on those wide open passes where he's having some accuracy issues, and he starts to play within the structure of Ben Johnson's offense from start to finish, like he did in the second half of that Packers game, I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And those stats that you just showed, Sean, on third down, this is the first I've seen those this year. And it doesn't surprise me. It's not surprising to me.
No, and you know that you guys feel confident that Ben Johnson can coach him into a higher.
What's up, Erica? Long time no see. Sorry, Jay.
No, I was going to say you guys, I believe, like I do, that Ben Johnson can coach him into a higher completion percentage. No.
100%. Yes. I think we are in the adolescent stages of this marriage between Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, and the more time they spend together, the more clean the operation is going to look. It's not going to look so clunky. We've talked about this numerous times, right, Sean? There's times where and it's not either during the year, guys. We're not talking about early on in the year before they all kind of gel together. Obviously, the penalties improve, but this has been every game. Every game, there's parts of the game where the Bears offense looks very clunky, and there's parts of the game where it looks like a well-oiled machine. And I think that the more time they spend together, the more consistent it's going to get and the more efficient Caleb Williams is going to get. Listen, I don't think Caleb Williams is ever going to be a 70% passer like Jake May, just because he throws so much off kilter and running out of the pocket on the move. We all know those throws are tougher to make, especially when you're running to your left and then you have to readjust your hips in order to get to throw with your right arm.
Yeah.
But I do think he's capable of getting that 63 to 66%. And if he does that and you add all the other intangibles of Caleb Williams, he becomes almost unstoppable. Almost unstoppable.
Yeah. And people forget his running game's really good too. I mean, he's fast and strong, man.
Yeah, and he can run too. And that's like people talk about Jordan Love. They're like, oh, Jordan Love, he doesn't have the intangibles Caleb Williams has. Jordan Love, he's not a runner. He's not super athletic. Jordan Love's very slow. He's clunky. When he runs, it looks clumsy. It looks awkward. If Caleb can put all this stuff together, guys, the stuff we've been talking about the entire season, and he can become a finished product and look the way that Ben Johnson wants him to look in that offense, the Bears are going to be one of the top 5 offenses in the NFL for the next 10 years. Not a question in my mind.
Yeah, and a lot of the heat that Caleb got in the Packers game last weekend, I don't know that it was certainly justified. And Grim Cuddy here put together some fantastic stats. 17 dropbacks. He was under pressure for 8, 41.7% pressure rate. 5 of the 8 charted snaps with pressure in the first half. He saw pressure under 2 seconds after the snap. 3 of those 5 resulted in throwaways. The 4th was a scramble for a first down, nullified by a hold. The 5th being the only 1 sack that Caleb took on Sunday, and that was attributed to the offensive line. Of the 7 total throwaways, 5 of them came off of pressure before 2.75 seconds. Guys, 2.75 seconds is league average time to throw to get the ball out. He also had 2 drops from Levelin and Swift, 9 throws that show up as incompletions, but either should have been positive plays or plays avoided by huge negatives. So when you start looking at this, and then you get into the second half, he had 3 aimed incompletions in the second half that came off that smoke screen to Moore, the scramble drill to Oz, and then the interception, of course. But you got to – people were coming in and saying, oh, Caleb sucked. Why can't you make a play? Why can't you make a play? Guys, I'm not a professional quarterback, but I can't imagine having a bunch of dudes getting after me in 2 seconds and trying to complete a pass because your receiver hasn't even hit his route, made his turn, and you're scrambling. The play's already broken. So for me, I just look and say, hey, when we attribute this slow start, and you listen to the media today asking Caleb Williams, your slow start. Yes, he's had some slow starts. But I think this week against the Packers, and I want to hear what you guys have to say, I think that slow start was more attributed to the offensive line in the first half, having a terrible first half, which I think was one of their worst of the year outside of, the first couple of weeks with all the pre-snap penalties and all that bullshit as they were getting acclimated. But I'd say since the winning streak and over the past 10 games, this was by far their worst game. And I attribute that slow start a lot more to them as a unit than to what Caleb Williams was able to do, if that's fair to say. What do you guys think of that?
That makes sense. We were all pissed off during the game because they weren't running the ball as much as we thought they should have in that first and second quarter, really all game. And I don't know if it was maybe something that they saw defensively that they thought their running game wasn't going to be great. But I got to be honest with you, I was really shocked that they didn't run the ball more in that first quarter, especially. I think first drive, what was it, like 3 straight passes, and then it was 3 and out. They didn't even run the ball once. So, and I think the second drive, it was something very similar to that as well. So, I don't know if maybe they got a little overconfident from that Philly game with their offensive line. Maybe the offensive line still has some work that they need to do, but who knows? I mean, there's probably so many different things that we don't know. I can just say this. I'm a little worried that maybe Ben Johnson got slightly out-coached there. If it wasn't for such good defensive play from those Green Bay Packers, I would probably say that, yeah, he did get out-coached. But I think some of the defensive talent was just really, really strong for Green Bay, and I think we just weren't ready for it.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off Jason. You took the words out of my mouth. I don't know if the Bears' offensive line was necessarily terrible in the first half, guys. I mean, when you're talking about Coop, Gary, and Parsons, they're going to make a lot of people look bad. I mean, the Packers have invested a lot in that defensive line. I think it's the strongest part of their team outside of maybe Jordan Love, if you're a big Jordan Love fan. But their pass rush is where they make their money. Their pass rush is how they win football games. And the Bears couldn't get anything going in play action because they decided to come out passing the ball instead of running the ball. So no Packers defender was going to bite on a fake run. It was never going to happen. I think the play calling and Ben Johnson put that offensive line in the Chicago Bears offense in a really bad spot. And you know what? I'm not sitting here harping on Ben Johnson because, once again, guys, he's a rookie head coach. He's only going to get better. And I love what I've seen out of Ben Johnson this year. But yeah, he's going to have moments where he makes the wrong decision. And we heard Ben Johnson say he's had a couple bad play calls that Caleb fixed and made him look good. But yeah, I mean, I think the Bears were just facing a really good defensive line. They became predictable, and like Jason said, maybe the first 2 or 3 drives of the game, they constantly dropping Caleb back. I think they had 9 throws to 2 runs to start the game. They looked predictable. The Packers knew what they were going to do, and then when the Bears started to run the ball in the second half and started to beat that defensive line up a little bit, tire those guys out a little bit. Then you found more success in the passing game. You know, guys like Luther Burden became open, Cole Kmet became open. I mean, you have to run the ball to complement the pass and vice versa. And the Bears just came out with a very wonky game plan to me, especially after watching that Eagles game. Like, I think in our minds, we all thought the Bears were going to come out and try to establish the run. I thought basically Ben Johnson was going to come out and be like, yeah, we're going to run the ball down your throat. Stop us. Let's see you stop us. But it almost seemed like the complete opposite. He was like, I'm going to put this game on the shoulders of Caleb Williams. And unfortunately for the Bears, if the Packers know you're going to pass the ball, as good as Caleb Williams is, and the Bears offensive line has been phenomenal all year, you can't give those guys that benefit. You can't give those guys that you can't give them that favor. That defensive line was teeing off in the first half. And like I said, guys, Sean, it's disappointing that you say that it was under 2.7 second league average, 2.3, whatever you said, but the Green Bay Packers are going to do that to a lot of people, man. That's a damn good defensive line.
You know, too, and I want to get your guys, if I say to the Meatball Bears fans out there that are calling for Tyson Bagent that didn't walk away from that game, let's say, very encouraged by what the Bears did in the second half against what many consider a Super Bowl ready defense, I, as a Bears fan, was very encouraged because I still think that this is all in the infant stages. And the more that I see it, and the more that I look at what Jared Goff did under him and how it took a little time for them to develop, and you kind of start seeing, oh, well, it's kind of progressing in the same way. And maybe all the parts aren't here that they exactly need at this moment. But I really do believe that this is in the infant stage. And and I'll say this, if you're not happy with what happened in the second half of that game and how they came out and they flipped the script on the Packers and almost came back and won that game, I don't know if a Bears fan, if you're ever going to be happy unless the Bears are undefeated. I don't know if that's a fair statement, but I was usually
every year can't be the 85 Bears. You know what I mean?
Right. And you know, and Dustin just jumped in, and I was very critical when I was hammered on Sunday night. But when I took time to actually sit back and think about it, rewatch the game a little bit, go watch the all 22s, and then start seeing some different things, I start to become very encouraged. And I'm with you, Kyle. I really wish they would have came out and pounded that ball from the beginning and just said, here, this is our identity. This is who we are. You know, I even heard someone at River Street say, we lost because we put the ball in our worst player's hands all the entire game. And I don't think Caleb Williams is the Bears' worst player. I don't know about that.
It's just Bears fans looking for somebody to place the blame. Listen, guys. Sean, you've said it numerous times now on this podcast. They're in the infancy stages, the adolescent stages of this offense, implementing the scheme. Caleb and Ben, I think, if at times are still kind of trying to figure each other out a little bit. They're still trying to figure out exactly what Caleb's greatest strengths are and how they can utilize them. Trying to find a good balance between his off-kilter stuff, the stuff where the play breaks down and he kind of just plays hero ball, and the in-structure stuff. I mean, you don't want to get rid of that natural God-given talent that Caleb has. But Sean, like we've talked about, and Jason, we've talked about this all year, there's times where this offense looks very clunky, and it's not like we're saying that as biased Bears fans, like, oh, well, we're Bears fans, so we know this can get better. I mean, it's clear and obvious, right? You can tell that there's times where they're just not all on the same page, and they're all top 10 in almost every offensive statistical category. So imagine the ceiling, right? Imagine where this thing could go. And Sean, like you said Green Bay has a championship caliber defense. I don't think the Bears are all that far off from having a championship caliber offense. If you watch the Bears in the second half of that Packers game, if they can play like that consistently, and obviously, guys, it's the NFL, you're not going to score on every drive. Okay, there's a reason these guys are playing defense in the NFL, even the bad ones. These guys are going to stop you from time to time. The ball's going to bounce a weird way. You're going to throw an interception, fumble, whatnot. But if the Bears can build off of what they've done, the 26 points a game they're averaging, and they get like the Detroit Lions were next year, what they're at 31, 32, 33 points a game, the Bears are going to be the most dangerous offense in the NFL. So, I mean, I understand that Bears fans are impatient and they want to see championship and they want to see it this year. And Sean, like you've said in the past, it's not like every year you get a chance. Something could go wrong next year where Caleb towards his ACL or something. But if this is just a sign of what's to come, and there's definitely going to be improvements on this offense in the future, I couldn't be happier, man. I picked the Bears to win 9 games, and they got 4 weeks left in the season, and they have 9 wins. I could not be happier.
And you know what? This is the first time as a Bears fan. I've been a Bears fan for a long time. I know some of you in the chat are probably a little bit older than me, but this is the first time since the Lovie Smith era, and then before that, since I was a kid in the the Walter Payton era, that I'm actually like happy with this year and excited for the next year. So many years, the last 10, 15 years have been basically, okay, all right.
Yeah, Jason, they're almost like, where do we go from here? Like, do we keep Trubisky? Do we keep Fields? Like, now you know the direction you want to go. You just, like Sean said, you just got to get the parts to complement these coaches and their scheme.
And get a defense together, get a better linebacking crew, get a better defensive line. And man, this team is going to be very serious for some time here. Teams will start taking the Bears seriously.
What's up, Tom?
Russ,
Sean, Tom, have you been here before, man? I'm sorry, I have a terrible memory, Tom.
I think he's been here, but if he hasn't, you know what, Tom? Welcome to the show. We haven't seen you for a bit. We appreciate you coming back to check us out. How about that?
Thanks for being here, brother.
And you know what, Jason agreed with this comment from Dustin, and I kind of thought that a little bit too at halftime. I kind of thought this.
Like, I'm gonna pass it, and I'm gonna show them I can get a passing game going.
Yeah, like they're gonna move. We're gonna move the ball at will, and it's gonna be easy. Like, no, man, this is gonna be. You're in a dogfight, Ben. You're in a dogfight, and you got to get creative, and you got to be physical. Wear them down.
And you want to know what's great about this is, I do believe Ben Johnson's a very smart guy, and I do believe he's going to learn from this. And for the first time in a long time, like an Andy Reid or Mike Tomlin or a Sean McVay, the Bears have an absolute weapon as a head coach. And that is what I can lean my hat on to say, I feel like this is going to be okay, and we're going to continue to progress. This isn't like 2018 where Nagy was the coach of the year and it was downhill from there. I don't have those Nagy vibes with Ben Johnson. I have successful vibes. This guy knows what he's doing. He's methodical. He has a game plan. I think it was retired lineman Andrew Whitworth who said, this guy's a tireless worker. You can go to Hallis Hall at almost any time of the night, and you're going to see this guy trying to figure things out. So I feel really, really good about where the Bears are. And I know there was a lot of talk today that, how depressed are you going to be if the Bears lose the last 4 games of the year and they finish with 9 wins? Would that be a kick in the gut?
It would suck, but that's where we all thought they were going to be. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think they're going to. But.
And you know what?
No, I don't think so.
Even when he's well into his career and he's a seasoned vet, this is not going to be the last time Ben Johnson has a game plan that's probably not going to work against the defense. I mean, this football's a chess match. You never know what's going to. But I do believe that, like you see, Carl here says now the Bears did try to run the ball in the possession of the second quarter, and the Packers were holding 2-3 yards carry. I mean, well, that's what the run game in the NFL is, Carl. You got to stay committed. You're going to have times where the defense just sees it coming. You're going to have times where the Bears are having trouble making space for the running backs. But the more that you beat them up, and the more you stay committed to it, and the more that you make sure it's like Kyle Malone guy just wears that defensive line out. And then all of a sudden DeAndre Swift finds open space here and there. The better the result's going to be at the end of the game. The Bears just have to be patient. You cannot score on every play. I think sometimes Ben has that mentality. I think sometimes Caleb has the mentality. Sometimes it's just a dogfight, and you have to be okay with going to the half 3-0 and coming out and being more physical in the second half and just wearing them down. And that's exactly what the Bears did. It was just too little too late. That was the only problem. It was just too little too late, because in that second half, man, the Bears were running the ball very successfully, where they basically were running it whenever they wanted to.
You're right, Tom. It is insane. Kyler Gordon has somehow been.
Tom, Kyler Gordon might be Mike Brown, and that breaks my heart to say that because I love Kyler Gordon. But
I'm going to say this about Kyler Gordon: the Chicago Bears have to get into a nice offseason regimen with him that heals his body and gets him into better conditioning.
Sean, he needs to hang out with Derrick Henry in the offseason.
Yeah, right.
He needs to put $250,000 into his body in the offseason. That's what he needs to do.
He's got to figure out. I love Kyler Gordon. He's still my favorite Bear. He's going to be my favorite Bear. It's a lost season for him. I miss him. I miss seeing him play this year tremendously. I know what a difference maker he is when he's out there, and it fucking sucks that he's probably going to miss. Maybe if we make the playoffs, maybe he can get back for that after he misses these next 4 weeks or whatever. But
you mean when we make the playoffs?
Year. Well, when maybe these records are tight. I mean, the records are tight. You know, we talked about it on Monday. We can have 11 wins and miss the playoffs, you know, in the NFC this year. It's kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, you got to win your division this year if you want to be in the playoffs. It's way too close for wild card. You can't be planning for wild card this year. You got to try to win that division.
I still think, I know a lot of people are kind of hanging their heads after this Packers loss. I still think the Bears are a much better team than the Browns. I think they could compete with San Fran. I think they're going to win the game against Green Bay. I think if you watch the NFL and the trends that have been happening this season, guys, revenge games, the second team almost always wins. Obviously, outside of that Packers and Lions game, the team that's at home on a revenge game has won almost everything, every single one of those games. I think the Bears are going to find a way to get the next 2 wins here, and then all they got to do is either beat the Niners and the Lions. And I know that's tough. But the best thing about this Bears season right now, guys, is they control their own destiny. And this has been the first time we've been able to see that. How many times, guys, have we sat here and we're like, well, if those two teams lose and those teams tie, and the Bears win out, like, no, all the Bears have to do is win. That's it. That's all they have to do. They're in a playoff spot right now. They're the 7th seed. They're a wild card spot. Just win. Just win, baby.
I love that thought, Romy. I love that thought so much. It's music to my ears, brother. Yeah, and Carl, you're right. Beating the Browns, we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. But beating the Browns is a must, and set up this second game with the Packers and answer the call, you know, this time, because you know, we just simply didn't get it done. And, you know, we talked about it again in a little bit of Monday. Someone even wrote in the chat, the Packers are our daddy. And until we cannot make them our daddy by beating them consistently. I mean, 1 win since 2018, guys. Some of those scores have been pretty brutal, you know, you losing by multiple touchdowns. And
yeah, but even that, like, you know, usually the Packers are the daddy and we're the 8-year-old where he just beats the shit out of you and there's nothing you can do about it. That was a dad fighting with his 20 and they were punched each other in the mouth and the dad came out on top. But I think that's only a matter of time before that starts to change a little bit here.
I agree.
I believe ultimately, and this is not a biased Bears fans, I'm just talking about based off of the eye test. I believe that Caleb Williams will be better than Jordan Love by the end of his career, and I believe that Ben Johnson will be one of the best play callers in the NFL and probably better than Matt LaFleur by the end of his career. I know it's easy to say that as a Bears fan this early into the process, but just after watching the Lions for the last 3 years and what Ben Johnson's been able to do, take a 5-win team to winning their going 9-4 in this early in the season, I think this is a sign of things to come, and it's going to be really, really fun to watch for a long time. Sean, let's get into this Browns team, man.
Yeah, well, hold on. And Carl, I know, Carl, you're saying boo, but I don't think that the Packers are going away necessarily. I think that over the next 3-4 years, I think the Bears and Packers are going to play a lot.
It's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, dogfights, rock fights, and splits during the season. Again, Lions fans, I don't know what to make of the Lions. I don't know if Jared Goff is a long-term answer there. I don't know. We'll see how they finish the season, but they just don't have enough success for me. They do have good players. I mean, they got Gibbs, St. Brown. We know who they have. But the Lions, for the most part, have had a really big problem staying healthy on the defensive side. And this year, it's the offensive line that can't stay healthy. So
yeah, real quick, guys. Sorry, not to interrupt. Jason, you can go right here in a second. I just want to address this comment. Tom, I don't know if this is your first time joining the show. I don't know how often you join the show. If you want, man, go back and watch the Monday podcast, the House Hall Hangover with all 4 of us, the 4 stars. We talked a lot about the disconnect between Caleb and DJ Moore. I basically at the end of the day, and Jason, I don't think you had a chance to talk about it, but I just think you really can't quantify where and how it's going wrong. Is it on Caleb? Is it on DJ? Is it on the coaching? Is it on the scheme? But I could tell you this, after watching DJ Moore and what he did with that season with Justin Fields with 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns, something's wrong. This is not the same DJ Moore we watched in the past. And it might just be a scheme thing. It might be a Caleb Williams thing. It might be maybe they don't like each other. I don't know. But I just think it's almost impossible unless you're in those meeting rooms and in the locker room to quantify exactly whose fault it is. But I've talked about this many times now. I talked about it last week. I think if there is somebody who's going to be a trade candidate in the offseason because the Bears are so strapped on the salary cap, it's going to be DJ Moore.
Yeah, and to Dustin's point here, if you guys watch the All-22s, Dustin is correct. Nixon released off of DJ and got in perfect position. It's actually a really good play by Nixon to pick that ball off. Bad throw, late throw by Caleb. But if you watch the All-22s, his easiest outlet outside of that throw would have been to DJ Moore.
No,
or not DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, I'm sorry. And if I heard a lot of Bears fans saying, maybe he should have just ran with that ball. I don't know if he would have made it if he ran with that ball.
He wasn't making it.
Yeah. I don't know if he was going to make it, man.
He was running into two of the best linebackers in football. The only thing I think Caleb could have done differently, and this is so easy to say after the fact, shoulda, coulda, woulda, and it's something he'll probably learn as he gets older, is he probably could have faked that ball to Cole Kmet and then hit DJ Moore. But you guys, you're talking about making a decision in a split second. I mean, that's something you would only see really veteran seasoned quarterbacks do.
Well, and you two brought up a good point, Kyle, about how you hate how they keep rolling him out to the left and making him throw back across his body. If you're designing these rollouts, maybe you should get him more on his comfortable side, because we saw some of those boundary throws, the throw to Zacchaeus, the throw to Kmet when he rolls out to the right, how precision and how nice those throws are.
Yeah, it's just you're saving yourself a split second. I mean, Jason, you tell me if you disagree. You're saving yourself a split second because you don't have to turn your hips. You don't have to readjust your hips to get comfortable, get your feet underneath you to throw that ball. So if I'm making design plays to roll Caleb out, obviously you have to keep the defense on their toes, but I'd say a majority of them should be to his right. And I know that the game-winning touchdown against the Eagles was to his left, and he had a beautiful pass. But Sean, like you said, outside of that throw to Cole Kmet, if you guys go back to last year and the beginning of this year, and you think about Caleb's greatest throws as a Chicago Bear, almost all of them are when he's running to his right. That throw to DeAndre Swift last year down the sideline, the throw to Cole Kmet down the sideline on Sunday, the one to Zacchaeus. His most accurate throws and his best passes are when he's rolling to his right and he doesn't have to readjust his hips. That's when he's at his best.
And everyone's going to say, well, he did it in Philadelphia. We're not saying he can't do it.
Yeah, he can do anything.
The problem I see with him when I watch the all 22 is, and guys, when you're watching the game, it's really hard because you don't get the full 22. Right. But 100%. You got to remember, if you see a guy open and the quarterback hasn't thrown the ball yet, that doesn't necessarily mean he's open. Once the ball is in the air, defenders are going to close. So if he's within a certain distance, he could be 5-10 yards away from the receiver. I mean, we've seen Kevin Byard do it like 6 times this year. So it's way more three-dimensional than it is just a 2D thing on your screen when you're watching the game live. You guys are probably going to say, yeah, we know, whatever, but Dustin basically nailed it, on point. What's going on, what I see with Caleb anyways is I think he's trying too hard to get that big play, and that's something that Ben Johnson has been stressing. I like the big play. I don't like the tush push. I like chunk plays. When he's sometimes just needs to sacrifice and get a 2-yard pass to his running back, or a 5-yard outlet to a tight end, and it's not a first down, but at least you're moving the ball forward. And that's really all you need to do. Once he starts mastering that and not trying to push the ball downfield as much, because we're starting to see him now run the ball a little bit more, which is great too. Then if that gets you the first down or 4 or 5 yards, that's a positive play. That's a great play. Anytime you can get 5 yards on a play, unless it's 4th and 6, it's a great play. So, that's what I see from him. I think he just needs to maybe take what's in front of him a little bit more and not try to, because once you start hitting those short passes, it's just going to open up the deep ball. That defense now plays much closer. The linebackers are not so far deep in coverage. They're much closer to the line trying to cover those tight ends and those running backs. Now you only have, especially on a 1 high or a 2 high, you're only going to have 3 or 4 DBs back there, or cover guys back there, instead of 7, right? It's a huge difference in the passing game when you could start passing that ball in the short to mid-range.
And I'll answer your question, Carl. Why didn't they run it up the gut? I wish they would have, because if they get that first down, you still have there's like 25 seconds. You had a couple timeouts. You had four cracks at the end zone passing it. If you're running on that 4th and 1, you never know if they don't split that line and he walks it into the end zone and the Packers have 20 seconds to score. We're going into overtime.
I also like Dwayne's comment here. We talked about this on Monday, Dwayne. He said, run a different fucking play. Everybody and their mama is studying that play. After that Eagles game, listen, I'm all for using that play in the season again, but I don't know if I'd be using it a week after it was a game winner in the last play of the game against the Eagles. If I'm the Bears, I'm probably saving that for maybe a playoff game or if they go any further than that. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, and Romy, to your point, he says, now, does Caleb have the choice to throw something not on the play design? I think Caleb can. I think Caleb can decide which side of the field the play goes to on every single play, if I'm not mistaken. I think he can audible which side of the field he wants the play to go to on almost every single play that the Chicago Bears run. Wherever he feels like there's less coverage, that's probably the way that he designs the play to go. But
you
I'm
go
pretty
in
sure
with a designed 1 read, 2 read, 3 read, 4
Yeah.
read, and then on down. That doesn't mean you have to throw to your 1. It just means you're looking at 1 first and then going down. Rarely are you going to start with 4 and then work your way back to 1. But, you know, a more experienced quarterback is going to know a little bit more, and they're going to say, hey, this 1, because of this coverage here, 1's not going to be open on this play. So I'm going to start my read with 2. That's what the really experienced quarterbacks do. And you said you weren't going to play that play, Sean.
Well, Tom brought it up, so I figured I'd play it for him just to say that the rodeo music should have been playing with it.
Yeah, guys, at the end of the day, that play call probably should have worked. It was a bad throw by Caleb.
It was
one of the worst throws he's had all
ultimately.
season. He lobbed it up, and if you're going to lob it up, give your 6'5", 240-pound tight end a chance to catch it. He dropped that thing right into into this corner. He could have put that thing more up for his jump ball, but he just short armed it. That's what he did. He short armed it, and you know I think it's because he was trying to turn his hips and throw at the same time.
And I was going to say, Kyle, what was Nixon? He's 5'10", and Komet's what 6'2", 6'3". Throw a jump ball.
Yeah,
Caleb's going to catch that, or Komet's going to catch that over him. I'm with Dwayne here. I would have just ran the damn ball. That's exactly.
I think that's what most Bears fans want.
Caleb's going to run the ball too.
That's because the Packers were tired, dude. They were gasping for air. Their hands were on their knees. That you had them. You had them. And if I'm here, you traded for Joe Thuney, one of the best guards in the history of football, right behind Thuney and Dahlman. You paid those 2 guys to make those plays. Run the damn ball behind your 2 best guys. Because Dahlman, go look at his numbers, guys. This guy's the number 3 ranked center in football right now. He is hitting on every mark for the Chicago Bears, and Thuney is the best damn guard in football. Run the ball behind him. It's 1 fucking yard with the bowling ball of Kyle Monunga. He'll probably pile drive his way for that first down. I don't know. It just we'll get him next time, I guess, right?
Yeah. It was a hard fought game by both teams, guys. It was exactly what I expected. I was hoping the Bears were going to turn out on the other side or the winning side of it. But you're in Green Bay, and you're in your first year. The Green Bay should technically be ahead of you in their Super Bowl window. They've been that coach and quarterback have been together for what 6 years now, 5-6 years now. Caleb, like we've talked about, Caleb and Ben are in the adolescent stages. I don't think there's any shame in losing to a Super Bowl contender in their house, especially a division rival who you know so well, and you know you're going to beat the shit out of each other physically. There are no moral losses or moral victories, but I would say as a Bears fan, even though I'm not happy with the result of the game, I'm happy with how hard the Bears fought. I am.
Yeah, me too.
I really am.
Me too. And you know, I saw this quote earlier today that said, where is it here? I wrote it down because I thought it was really cool. And I don't know where the hell did I put it? I don't know I can't remember who said it because I forgot to write his stupid name down. He said there is no moral victories in the NFL. Never have been, never will be. What does exist, however, is context and perspective, and that's what many are searching for as they try to make sense of the Bears' lone loss over the past 44 days. I copy and pasted that because I agree with that statement. I don't believe in moral victories anyways, but I do believe with what I'm watching with my eyes and what I've watched with my eyes since the beginning of the season and the transformation from a team that looked like a circus show to a team that's become more disciplined in their system, their gap schemes, their defensive play calling, their offensive play calling. And yes, there are still some gaps with the Bears. There are still some lapses when it comes to Caleb Williams. But Caleb today in his press conference said, we're going to get through this season. We're going to go through this offseason. We're going to learn this. And I mean, guys, I think coming into next year, I think we're going to see something that is going to be pretty special.
Well, and we're not going to be picking the Bears to be 9-8.
No, it's going to have to be because the Bears are going to be playing a hell of a tougher schedule next year. So.
Yeah, but I'm still going to be picking the Bears to be 9. I'm going to pick the Bears to have a top 3 offense in the NFL and win a lot of football games. And Carl, real quick, just to your point, man. He said he believes the play of the game was made on 3rd down by Enigbari. I said that on Monday. Enigbari tackling Kyle Monunga on 3rd and 1 for no gain is what lost the game for the Chicago. That's what lost the game for the Chicago Bears because if they get that first down right there, and now the entire playbook is at their disposal, especially with they still had a couple times, I think 2 timeouts left or 1 timeout left, so they still could have run the ball once more too. That changes the game entirely. Once they didn't get that first down on 3rd down from that tackle by Enigbari on Kyle Monunga, that was they put the Bears in a really, really bad spot. A really bad spot.
Yeah, and you know what? And I agree with Tom here. I think that Kyler Gordon injury at the beginning of the game changed the entire game plan. I think we talked a little bit about that on Monday as well. That was a monkey wrench because this DA's defense is built around. He wanted it built around Kyler Gordon, and he finally got his Mercedes back, and then it broke down again. And
well, there's no doubt about it, Sean, because slot receivers against the Bears on Sunday, I think Jordan Love was 7 for 7 for 144 yards and 3 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, is Kyler changed the game? Does he give the Bears a win? I don't know, maybe not, but is he better than allowing 7 for 7 for 144 yards and 3 touchdowns? No disrespect to Carter Johnson. Fuck yes, he is.
Absolutely. Yeah, Brisker is not 100%. He did not look good.
Brisker's cannot cover. He can't cover anybody. Can't cover anybody. He's great at the line of scrimmage. He cannot cover anybody. I mean, you guys, who the hell is Bo Melton? Who the hell, like Brisker?
He's really fast.
Yeah, but if he's so fast, how come he hasn't caught a single pass this season besides that one?
Yeah.
Brisker was out of position on that play.
That's what I was kind of saying on Monday when I brought up Jahadi Walker's name. I was hoping he was going to go deep into his bag and have like a secret play where no one was paying attention to a Jahadi Walker and he would break free like Bo Melton, when the Bears probably weren't thinking. Brisker was there in coverage, and I think Byard too. He blew blast both of them, didn't he? Byard and Brisker. I know
Byard was moving up to cover the tight end. The guy who actually really blew that play outside of Brisker, because Brisker was playing way too far off of Bo Melton. But if you guys watch that play again, Jalen Johnson's just walking around in no man's land. He literally is doing nothing.
Jalen Johnson had a bad game.
He was literally he was out of place. He should have been. He should have moved up to the middle of the field to help out with the tight end so that Kevin Byard could drop into coverage. But Jalen Johnson didn't move. He just stood there on this right by the sideline. He wasn't even involved in that play, and that really is what opened Belmont up for that touchdown. But Brisker also gave him 13 yards of space off the line of scrimmage. You can't do that.
The secondary was terrible. The secondary, you can't do that at the end of the half.
Secondary, I think it was one of the worst games. That and the Bengals game, those were the 2 worst games this year for the Bears.
And Kyle, I'll be honest, because the Packers had a chance to double up because they were getting the ball back. I honestly thought, I was like, oh shit, man, that might have just cost us the ball game right there. With the Pack having a chance to double up before we even touched the ball again. I thought I'll be in my wildest dreams. I did not see the Packers with 120. I thought the Bears defense was going to be able to get off the field and we were going to walk into that, very comfortable with them getting the ball and get some second half adjustments. It didn't work out that way.
That's disappointing because almost all their touchdowns were big plays, and that's just not the Bears have been kind of bend don't break all season, and they were just breaking all over the place. All right, Sean, let's get into the Browns.
But the Bears were true to themselves because now they are 1-4 in games with 1 or less turnovers on the year. How many losses do they have? 4. So turnovers, because they can't get pressure, are so huge. And Kyle, I know you wanted to talk about this. So before we move on to the Browns, that leads us to some offseason moves. The 3 biggest things. What do you think?
This is just a way too early preview of some of the things I think the Bears could end up doing this offseason, guys. And Jason, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. But I mean, right now, guys, as it stands, if the season ends today and the salary cap didn't go up, the Bears are $2 million under the salary cap. So obviously, they have absolutely no room to do anything in free agency. And remember, guys, you still have to sign guys like Darnell Wright and probably a couple other guys the Bears are thinking about extending. So they're going to have to find a way to make some room on these books. Now, I think the salary cap goes up. What is it? $18 million a year? $12 million a year? How much does the salary cap go up every year?
I don't know. Let me Google it.
I think it's around $18 million, somewhere around there. So you're going to have around $20 million to spend. But I think the Bears are going to be looking to find a way to open up more salary cap space in the offseason. So you have a couple different options. Obviously, I think the most obvious one is you just signed DJ.
Million.
No, it's 23, so even better. So they have about $25 million to spend this offseason. The obvious one, guys, is to trade DJ Moore because you just got that $110 million extension. I think it costs you around $25 million a year next year. That would obviously be the one that would probably clear up the most space for the Chicago Bears. I would say Montez Sweat is also on the trade eligible list, but then you really have no defense nobody can get after the quarterback at all.
You got to get out of that Deo contract.
The Dale one is one that's interesting to me because what they could do is give him the Nate Davis treatment. What they could do is hold him through half of the season in which he's going to be injured anyway. And then if you release him after a certain point in the season, the dead cap is not nearly as bad. And I'm the Chicago Bears. I am looking to do whatever I can to get out of that Dale contract, whatever I possibly can. I think Grady Jarrett has a role in the Chicago Bears, even though that contract's not great either. I think he's a good players coach. I think he does still have some left in the tank. He has made plays at moments this season. He's had good games. Guys, Deo didn't even look like he was on. There's times I didn't even know he was on the field.
Yeah.
There's times I didn't even know he was on the field. Yeah, but Dustin, if you want to average it out, I think the last year is around 22. I think it's pretty much going to be somewhere around exactly, maybe a little bit more, but it should be around somewhere exactly where it was last year and the year prior. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd like to hear what you guys think. I'd like to hear what the chat thinks. You guys, I think the Bears are going to make a significant move in the offseason to clear up some salary cap space. I think DJ Moore is the most prominent candidate to make that happen. But if you guys, Cole Kmet would probably be runner up because I think he's making around $9 million a year. But even a guy, if you guys are thinking about adding draft capital so that you could have more draft capital, try to move up in the draft and get one of those defensive ends, could be trading Tyson Bagent for maybe a third, fourth round pick. Then you trade DJ Moore away, you get a couple more picks, and I don't know. What do you guys think?
I was looking at the free agents, and I saw a couple here that I'll just kind of mention and break down. Let's see. Trey Hendrickson, not a big fan of him.
Well, James, you wouldn't be cutting more; you'd be trading his contract away, man.
Right. George Pickens is going to be a free agent. Breece Hall is going to be a free agent. Travis Jones, a pretty good defensive tackle, is going to be a free agent. Jalen Phillips is going to be a free agent. Quay Walker, who I hit my eye pretty hard, he's going to be a free agent next year. And I don't know, they got a lot of money in that defense now. I don't know if they're going to be able to afford him. And then Jaquan Brisker is also going to be a free agent next year. There's actually a couple of running backs. I mentioned Breece Hall, but Javonte Williams and Kenneth Walker. So there are some guys out there, unless they're planning on picking them up in the draft, that we can pick up to really help get this team in the right direction. I think most of the help we're going to need, though, honestly, is going to be on the defensive side of the ball, outside of a running back. But it seems like our running backs are doing fairly decent right now. So I don't know if that's the move. If we don't have the running back available to us in the draft, maybe we don't draft one this year. But I would say linebacker, defensive line, and you guys hit it on the head. I think if you get rid of Brisker, because he's going to be asking for a lot of money. If we can somehow get out of that contract for Dio out of Otabengo, and who knows?
But it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Billings might be on his way out now too. I mean, he's getting up there in age too. So, there's probably a good 30 to 40 million I think they could save by releasing some of these guys.
Yeah, and James, I'm kind of confused. You say cut or trade, you don't clear cap for more period. I mean, if you trade him, then the salary he's owed would no longer be on your book. So you would be, I'm not saying you would create like a $50 million this year in cap, but you would create cap space this season if you traded DJ Moore in the offseason. Like, you wouldn't be required to pay his 2026 salary. The team that you're trading him to would be required to pay his salary. So like I said, I have to look at the numbers. I haven't looked exactly what DJ Moore is owed next year.
I think it's a 23.
But whatever they're paying, whatever they're paying him next year, that goes against the cap. So if you trade him, you would clear up space. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe I'm just confused about exactly.
Sometimes it's not all of it. It might be they have to eat $8 million out of the 23 million or whatever, but it's still a substantial chunk of money that you're saving. Yeah, that's why guys like that get traded.
Yeah. I mean, one guy that I.
Yeah, but if you're trading him, you wouldn't be eating $35 million in dead cap, right? Like, if you trade him, you wouldn't be eating $35 million. If you cut him, you'd be eating $35 million in dead cap.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
The good news, guys, is next offseason, we're going to have an NFL agent on to explain all this stuff to us in detail.
Nice.
Especially cash over cap, because I don't know if you guys have ever looked into cash over cap, but that shit is apps confusing. I would never want to be. NFL agents are basically lawyers. I mean, that's basically what they are. If this guy, he comes to the bar I work at.
Read those contracts, man.
You listen to him talk about the contract, the intangibles of contracts. I'm like, you lost me, bro. I don't even know where you're at, man. But he's like, I can break it down in layman's terms for your guys' podcast so that everybody kind of understands what I'm talking about.
DJ Moore's cap hit is $28,500,000 next year. So, Yeah, you're gonna have to find a trade partner for him because you ain't cutting him.
Yeah, you're definitely. I mean, cutting DJ would be stupid. That would. I mean, you'd be
No,
cutting.
yeah, you're not.
You'd be cutting a talented wide receiver in the NFL. But if you trade him, yeah, I believe that they would cut the cap hit wouldn't be that big, and it would clear salary space. Listen, I'm not even saying it's got to be DJ Moore guys, but unless, like Jason said, they just plan on not bringing a ton of guys back, a ton of guys who are pending free agents, Jaquan Brisker, Kevin Byard, Deshaun Wright, unless they just don't plan on re-signing any of these guys.
Hey,
The
Kyle.
Bears are in some trouble. If you're trying, people keep saying, "Well, we should try to trade for Max Crosby." Well, you got to give him his $41 million a year.
Yeah. And when we get this agent on here, it'll be fun to hear about this cash over cap because number one, we went into the offseason when looking at the Kansas City Chiefs having like 9 players they had to resign, and they were upside down in the cap, and somehow they re-signed everyone except for Joe Tooney.
Yeah.
So there's a will, there's a way. So I don't worry too much about it. These guys know what they're doing, and I'm with most of the people. I thought I understood the cap. I really don't. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, the problem is also that it's not like universal. Not every contract is the same. So it depends on how much money you paid them up front, what their signing bonus was, what their guarantees are, how much money you have backloaded. And then when it comes to cash over cap, guys, what I understand is the NFL does have a salary cap, right? They do. But it's not like a set in stone salary cap. So if the owner of the team is willing to pay a player in cash, you can go over the salary cap.
Yes.
If you account for that cash, if you're not accounting for that cash, which the NFL does not. But A, I don't know exactly how cash over cap works. And B, George McCaskey's not on the top of my list of guys who I think would be taking money out of his pocket and giving it. Like I could see Jerry Jones doing that. I could see Kraft doing that. George McCaskey.
Him and Tom Ricketts must be best friends.
Yeah. Like he's never shown that he's willing to spend a ton of money in the past. And like I said, the Bears are going to be on the hook for what? At least $2 billion of the stadium, probably, if not more, but at minimum, probably $2 billion of the stadium. So I don't know how much he's going to be willing to spend cash over cap. Probably not much. But the end of the day, guys, like I said, this is way too early, and I can't wait to get this NFL agent on so we can break this stuff down for us. But at the end of the day, if I'm the Bears, I'm thinking right now about what I can do to free up some salary cap in the offseason.
Yeah, 100%. Well, boys, we got ourselves a frigid bowl game on the lakefront. They're saying, so I follow this thing called the Soldier Field weather, and I looked it up today. It says right now they're predicting freezing temperatures with the wind chill of -20 to -25 for the Bears game this Sunday. And I believe someone else commented on this in the chat, but the coldest game ever played was December 22nd, 2008 against the Green Bay Packers. The temperature was 3 degrees with a wind chill of -13. The Bears won that game 20-17. And Jason, for us, I looked it up while we were talking here. It was Sunday night, December 18th, 2005 at Soldier Field. The air temperature was 12. The wind chill was -8. So we were freezing our tushies off that day.
Dustin says he was at that game as well.
Who said that?
Dustin.
Oh, were you? That was a cold freaking day, man. Last time I'll ever do that shit, I can tell you that.
Well, it's like whenever we play these games, they're like, "Oh, it's record-setting -28 wind chill." How come it can't be like the Niners? How come it can't be like somebody from California or from a dome
Miami?
Like, why is it always like the Browns or the Packers or a team that's like, no, we're used to this shit.
It's going to be 20
right there
below
with
in
you.
Cleveland. Yeah,
exactly. It's always got to be a team that's used to the cold weather and it doesn't bother them, just like it doesn't bother Chicago Bears. But I will say, guys, I don't know if you remember or not, in his introductory press conference as a Chicago Bear, they asked Caleb Williams what he thinks about the stadium. Would you like to be dome? And Caleb came out and said, "Hey, man, I put at USC. I want a dome. I want to be inside all the time. I hate the cold. Everybody hates the cold."
Well, I will say this.
Yeah, but he grew up in Washington, D.C. He grew up, he played for Oklahoma.
Yeah, I certainly believe he's used to it for sure, but it still doesn't suck any less when your fingers are like, I mean, it's got to be almost impossible to throw a football.
Yeah, Tom Brady on the broadcast, didn't he say he kept a little heater in his pouch to keep his hand warm?
Yeah, they have hand warmers inside their pouches.
Some kind of. They're going to have to do that, man. I mean, they're going to have to do that, and it's going to be interesting because when it comes to this game, I'm trying to figure out how you win this game when your fingertips are frozen. It's going to be hard to grip the ball. It's going to be hard to catch the ball. Everything's going to hurt more. This game's just going to suck in general altogether. But this is a game where you hand the ball maybe to Monunga and you hand it to Swift and say, beat this defense down and let's get the hell out of here. But at the same time, when you look at this Cleveland Browns team, they got Junkins and they have Sampson. They can do the same thing to you. My ideal would be able to pound, play action, over the top, touchdown.
If you're the Bears, you're stacking that box and you're saying, hey, Shador, let's see what you got, bud. You're stacking that box and you're saying, Shador, go win this game for the Browns. Because you know what? People keep talking about how great he is. I've been looking at Shador Sanders' numbers, guys. And I understand he's a rookie, so I'm not expecting a ton from him. But people are like, he looks like a superstar. 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions at a 45% completion rate is not a superstar. Like, I'm not saying he's played terribly. Not saying he's played terribly, but if you look at his stats, he has not played well. Not played. No. He's certainly. No. If I'm the Browns, I'm not like we found our future quarterback who's going to win us a Super Bowl in the next 3 years. When I'm watching Shador Sanders, I just don't get the same vibe. But
yeah, he's playing better than Dylan Gabriel was, though. I mean, that's what I think the excitement is. You know, and honestly, all their best players outside of Myles Garrett are all rookies.
I mean. That's like, well, Nate Davis is playing better than Larry Borum. Like, oh, okay. You know,
I will say, we'll see. I'm not going to say I don't think he's getting better, Dustin. I don't. I think he played a shitty Tennessee team. He took advantage of it.
He still lost.
He could not do anything against a better defense against San Francisco. He was awful. And as the teams get harder, I think he will continue to collapse in the pocket. He runs backwards and takes sacks running backwards. He did it in college. He's doing it in the pros. I know everyone's up in
How many sacks has he taken?
I didn't write that number down.
I think it's 9, right? 8 or 9 sacks.
I might. You know what? I might have actually written it down.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys? Listen, we're going to do a deeper dive here, but should the game plan for the Chicago Bears defense not be make Shador Sanders beat you? That should absolutely be the game plan for this game. Make Shador Sanders beat you.
And
make that guy beat you.
Play like shit
in the negative 20-degree weather. Stack the box. Stop. Quit shot Judkins. Make Shador uncomfortable and make him beat you. And their offensive line sucks. It's not that good.
I blitz them as much as I could.
I think it's somewhere in the middle of the pack, a little bit worse. The Bears are going to get their opportunities to move Shador.
They're going to pick him off.
Yeah, they're going to. I think that if you have the Bears defense on your fantasy team, start them.
Yeah, because I'll be honest. What do the Bears play a lot of in that secondary? They play a lot of man, correct? Sanders' completion percentage against man, 42%. So let's just, and again, I don't know how, and I agree with what Dustin said a little bit ago. It's not going to be ideal to be throwing in these conditions. So I don't know how much you're really going to be throwing. It's going to be, the Bears are going to have to stop the freaking run, man. They're going to have to. They're going to have to.
And with TJ Edwards back, they're going to stack the box 100%. And I love what, I didn't know this, guys. Did you guys know this? Breaking news, Mikey here says, yes. They lost their center, went on IR today.
Their center was lost last week, and he has allowed 14 pressures and 2 sacks on the season.
Yeah, I mean, they need all the help they can get. The Browns are a team that cannot be losing important players on their roster. It's not a good football team to begin with, guys. They have 3 wins on the season. I mean, they're not a good football team. They're not. And if you look through the Bears should go in Soldier Field and absolutely beat the shit out of this team, guys.
Hey,
I'll tell you what.
They just gave the Titans their second win of the season.
Here's an insight to Shador. On throws behind the line of scrimmage, Shador Sanders has totaled a plus 5.1 EPA, the 6th highest mark in the NFL. That's all little screen passes. All the ball is traveling is behind the line of scrimmage. On all other throws, he has a minus 17.9 EPA, which is the 4th lowest among quarterbacks. On throws past the line of scrimmage, the Bears have intercepted the most passes, 18, but are also tied for the most touchdowns in 27. So I think what you said there, Kyle, is make him beat you. That's exactly what it is. If he wants to throw little screen passes, fine. And if he wants to try to throw it downfield, that's fine too, because he's probably going to get it intercepted. So as long as you stop him, and as good as this defense is, because they are very, very good, they still can't win games because their offense sucks.
Yeah, I do. Listen, you guys, there's not one thing about Myles Garrett that doesn't scare the absolute hell out of me. Not
damn.
one
yeah.
single
Yeah.
thing. And I don't care how good Ozzie Trapilo is or how good he's been or how good he's getting. Everybody in the world is going to struggle with Myles Garrett. He's about to set the single season sack record. There's no shame in letting Myles Garrett get a sack or two in a game. He does it almost every game, right? Against the
Yeah.
best offensive lines in football. But if you can roll Caleb out to the opposite side as much as possible and try to get quick passes out and try to keep this defense on their heels, run the ball, like you said, Sean, use that play action. The Bears can move the ball on the Browns. The Titans did it last week. I mean,
The
Tony
Titans
Pollard
did
had
it,
like
yeah.
17 carries for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The Bears can move the ball on the Browns. They're not invincible. I don't see a way in which the Browns can move the ball on the Bears. Maybe 10 points. So all you got to do is score 13.
And
The Bears should beat this team, guys.
and
If
I'll tell you
the
this.
Bears are trying to convince the NFL that they're legitimate contenders and they're to be
You got to
played.
beat this team for
But
sure.
you got to beat the Browns. You absolutely have to beat the Browns.
And I'll tell you guys this: if you've been watching since Sanders has taken over, when they get inside the 5, it's switched to a wildcat offense. They've been running it with Judkins and Sampson, and I don't know who the other person is, but Sanders has been on the sideline, and it's actually been effective. So that's something the Bears are going to have to look out for. On the defensive side of the ball, I'm not sure. I have not seen. He did not practice today, but if this gentleman is not in the ball game, this is a huge win for the Bears. Denzel Ward left the game late against Tennessee. Everyone knows he's one of the best corners and all-around football players in the NFL. He looks, hopefully, he'll be out in this game because I just want to make sure, I want to dot all these I's, cross these T's, and get this fucking win against the Cleveland Browns. Also, their big man in the middle, Malik Collins, is already out for this game. He is the man that clogs up the middle for the Cleveland Browns. He's been out since week 8, but that defense still sits in top 10 in EPA allowed per play and opponent's success per snap. So the defense is still getting it done. They didn't get it done last week, and if I had to say, I think Tony Pollard, DeAndre Swift, very similar in their styles. DeAndre Swift maybe a little bit more shiftier, maybe a little bit better than Tony Pollard right now. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, I think DeAndre Swift's better than Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's just a guy. Listen, guys, is there also maybe just a little bit of a chance that the Cleveland Browns are starting to give up a little bit, and that's why they look so bad against the Tennessee Titans? You guys, this is a team where it's like year in and year out. It's the same story for the Cleveland Browns. How much do you think these guys are starting to make business decisions? Like by week 10, 12, 11, 13 every year, we're out of the playoffs. We're eliminated. Why should I go out there and risk my health and risk my next contract, give 100% when I know for a fact this team's just going to continue to suck until they actually get a legitimate NFL quarterback or even a legitimate NFL offense? Because to be honest with you, like Mike said in the chat there, outside of Judkins and Fannin, and he says Njoku, I don't even know if I'd put Njoku on that list this year. Their team's not good. They're just not. It's not a good football team, guys. It's not. The Browns are not a good football team, and the Bears have one of the best offenses in the NFL and a defense that, like we said, is an opportunistic and can take advantage of bad quarterback play. The Bears should go in the Soldier Field and absolutely beat the shit out of this
Just
team.
make mistake-free football. Just don't.
And Myles Garrett's gonna ruin some drives, but he's not gonna ruin the game.
No. And guys. And Caleb Williams touched on this in his press conference. He said he was going to try and not let this happen this week, but 2.5 sacks away from setting the new NFL record for sacks in a season. I'm going to go on record and say he's not getting that against the Chicago.
I think he's going to get it.
Against the Bears?
I think he's going to get it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. And the reason I say no is because they're going to come up with a game plan. And I know even if you double and triple team Garrett, he could still get after your ass because the guy is just a machine. But I love the elusiveness of Caleb Williams. I love how he was able to avoid Micah Parsons. He made Micah Parsons work, but I don't know if you guys agree with me. They were able to neutralize Micah Parsons a lot. I know he got into the backfield and chased them. You're not going to you just hope to control him or contain him. You're never going to stop him. But I don't think Micah Parsons wrecked that game for the Bears.
No.
Hopefully
he had 7 pressure. I mean, he had a good game, but like Justin says, if he has 2 sacks, he wrecks the game. I don't believe so. I think, like I said, he might ruin 2 drives, but if the Bears are going to have 8, 9, 10 drives in the game, I don't think he's going to wreck the game. But I mean, do I think that him playing a rookie tackle and Ozzie Trapillo, this is a good chance for him to set the record, NFL record for sacks. I'd say there's a chance that he could do it. And listen,
what you're giving, then you're not giving Caleb enough for credit for his elusiveness.
Sure, but you're talking about a cold game in which it's tough to throw the ball, and you're gonna probably naturally hold on to the ball a little bit longer than you'd like to. And Sean, like you said, against Micah Parsons, they were getting pressure under the NFL average is 2.3 or 2.7 seconds. Myles Garrett can certainly do that. He can certainly do that. And if there's a play where it's a busted coverage, Trapillo messes up, or Trapillo or Tooney aren't on the same page. And did you guys see that jump move he had a couple weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago, Myles Garrett, where he did that sidestep, that huge sidestep. I mean, it might be the greatest move I've ever seen in the history of defensive football. He was absolutely, it's not stoppable. It's not stoppable. He's absolutely an athletic freak. I mean, Jason, do you think he gets it?
He could. I don't think it's going to wreck the game per se, because I think, you could, as long as it's not like a 20-yard sack. If it's a 5-yard sack, I don't think it kills the drive unless it's on a 3rd down or 4th down. He can get sacked on 1st down, and we still got 3 more downs to go to get the ball in, to get a 1st down. So it's very conceivable. I mean, it is Myles Garrett, but it's also just as conceivable that Ben has learned from his mistakes, and we are going to run the ball more. We're going to, maybe get the ball bootleg outright, stay away from him. It's very possible. I mean, you can't ignore Myles Garrett. You're going to game plan for him somehow, and they're probably going to use all the stops. They're going to chip block. They're going to double team. They're going to hold. They're going to run opposite him. They're going to pass opposite him. Who knows what they're going to do? This could be a really low-scoring game. It could be 17-10, right? I mean, and the Bears win. They cover the spread, and we move on. It's not a stellar game. It's very possible that Caleb Williams still throws for 55% and 195 yards. Not a stellar game at all, right, guys? But a W is a W. That's all you're looking for here.
I gotta say this, man. Go to look at Tennessee and San Francisco's game log. He had 1 sack in each of those games.
Well, and Dustin, so I honestly can't understand how we could be talking about Garrett having multiple sacks, and that doesn't wreck this game. I'm pretty sure the Browns lost a game in which Myles Garrett had 5 sacks this season. I'm not entirely sure on that. I'd have to double check, but I think he had a 4-sack game and a 5-sack game, and I think they lost both of them. I think after the game, he came out and said, "I would trade all 5 of those sacks for a win." I'm almost positive.
He had 5 sacks against New England. They lost 32-13. He had 4 sacks against Baltimore. They lost 23-16.
Yeah, I mean, both those games, they got their asses whooped, multiple scores, and he had 9 sacks between the 2 games, bro.
Yeah. A little.
This is how the Bears were back for quite some time. We had a really good defense and just not a good offense. We know what this looks like, guys. We know exactly what the Browns are. Now, we've never had, since, a Richard Dent, maybe Khalil Mack, a player of Myles Garrett's caliber, but Julius Peppers in the end of his career, though, really.
Not of Myles Garrett's caliber.
No. So, look, he's a game wrecker for sure. That doesn't, and it's not equating into wins, right? They've only won 2. So,
3.
Okay. Sorry. I was way off. So
3. Give them their credit, man. They've earned those 3 victories. Oh, one of them was against Green Bay. We can't forget about that.
They're just not good because you can't win. You can stop an offense all you want, but if you can't score points, it only takes 1 score for the other team to win. It's that simple.
Yeah. I agree with you, Roman.
I mean, Jason, I agree with you. Even if the Bears have to win this game 3-0, win it 3-0 because their offense is absolutely pathetic. It's a joke. Yeah. It's not an NFL offense. It's not an NFL offense. No. As a matter of fact, they're basically starting 3 college kids, right? Shedeur Sanders, Quishon Judkins, Dylan Sampson, Hannah Fannin. These guys are all rookies. They don't have a ton of experience in the NFL. And as good as they are, the rest of the team just sucks. Like the rest of the team's just not, the rest of the offense just isn't good. And I'm sick of, if anybody in this chat, I'm sorry, but I'm so sick of hearing about Jerry Jeudy, guys. I don't buy in on Jerry Jeudy. I think that guy is incredibly overrated. I think he's not a good receiver. And I think the only reason he looked any good at all last year was because that's basically all the Browns had to throw the ball to. But he's not good.
And you guys got to remember, I know there was some pressures, but Chicago did only give up 1 sack to the Green Bay Packers, and their offense or their defensive line ranks top 3 in pass block win rate. So I'm going to stick with 1 sack for Myles Garrett in this game. He's coming off back-to-back.
No, that's what I hope. That's what I hope.
Hey, I mean, dude,
I hope
you pick what you pick.
I
that's
hope
fine.
zero sacks and 0 pressures. It's just, man,
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen.
with a rookie left tackle, that is a tall task, man. Like I honestly feel bad for Ozzie Trapillo, this being his 3rd NFL start against what might go down as the greatest defensive end in the history of football. Like, hey,
Probably is.
Ozzie, good luck, bud. Good luck, bud.
They're going to get him some help over there.
Even if you chip him, bro, Myles Garrett is more than capable of getting to the quarterback.
Oh, well, they
all know that.
They talked about that. Ben Johnson talked about it today, that when you watch his tape, he wins against double and triple teams. He said all you can do is hope to contain him because he is unstoppable. And I agree with that statement. The guy is unstoppable. Like,
he's a freak, man.
I think it's gonna be a run game. I know we keep saying that, but you know who has given up the least yards per game this year passing wise? It's your Cleveland Browns. They're really, really good at that. They also, I believe, have the second or first best or least amount of time now for time to throw to quarterbacks. Obviously, that's because of Myles Garrett. So, I'm hoping that Ben can scheme up something and not let his ego get in the way, like we were saying earlier. But that, to me, is going to be the key to the victory. It's not necessarily stopping him; it's just running the plays away from him. That's all you got to do.
Well, and Sean, do we know the extent of Denzel Ward's injury? Because that has a lot to do with that passing statistic.
He
might be the best corner in football. He's top 3 for me.
No, he's really
amazing,
really
dude.
Good.
He's absolutely amazing. If he's out, that would be huge bonus for the Chicago Bears. Absolutely.
I think they're giving up 165 yards, which is
that's impressive.
6 yards. That's insane.
I feel bad for the Browns defense, bro.
They're amazing. If they had a quarterback,
if they had anything. Although I do like Quinshon Judkins a lot. Guys, Dustin was huge on Quinshon Judkins coming out of the draft. He said he was probably going to be the best running back in this draft class. He has impressed me. He's done everything that Dustin said he could do. He looks like a very, very capable NFL running back. I just don't think there's enough talent on the offensive side of the ball for the Cleveland Browns to overcome the Bears scoring 17, 20 points. I don't think the Browns can do that. I don't think Shedeur Sanders can put this team on his shoulders if the Bears stack the box and shut Quinshon Judkins down like they did, let's just say, Saquon Barkley, 56 yards or whatever they gave up. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is capable of winning this football game. I just don't. He hasn't shown me enough for me to be like, you know what, keep an eye on Shedeur Sanders and that deep ball, man. I just don't see it.
And here,
Garrett just signed a contract this year too.
Yeah.
Do you think he's regretting it?
Definitely regretting it.
And as good as Judkins has been at times, he's only averaging 3.7 yards per carry. His last bunch of games, Tennessee, 1.9 yards per carry. Against the Vegas Raiders, 2.9 yards per carry. It's not like this line is opening up holes for him to be able to use his skill. So the Bears going down his list, he's only been over 4 yards rushing 4 of the 10 games he's played. So the Bears have an opportunity here. They need to improve that offensive line. They have some injuries. The center, the guard are going to be out. Tevin Jenkins, as someone pointed in the chat, I was going to get to that. He is.
I like revenge game.
You know what? You know what?
The left guard revenge game.
You know what, dude? He'll be out by the second quarter, so we don't really have to worry about it.
Yeah,
his back will go out.
I agree with Dustin here. First, Dustin says the weather creates variability, guys, on both sides, concerning to me at least. I agree with that. I mean, the ball is probably going to bounce in odd ways, especially when it's negative 20.
It's going to be a rock.
But I also agree with Dustin's second chat here, comment here where he says the O-line sucks. Yeah, you guys, that Browns O-line sucks.
Yeah,
I just think this is a good matchup outside of Myles Garrett and that defense, and especially if Denzel Ward's out. I think this is just I don't think the Browns match up well against the Bears because the Browns' strength is their defense, the Bears' weakness is their defense. But if the Bears can just score 17, 20 points, which we just saw the Titans do against the Browns, many teams this season have done it against the Browns, 17 points. I don't think the Browns can score enough to beat the Bears. I just don't think that even against a porous defense, I think there's going to be a lot of 3 and outs for the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, guys. And Dennis Allen is going to exploit the weaknesses of that offense 100%.
It's still a rookie quarterback, right? And rookie quarterbacks make mistakes. It's just
he's gonna even if they don't sack Shedeur, if you just make him uncomfortable, move him around a little bit, he's going to make mistakes. He is going to make mistakes. And Sean, like you brought up, Jason, it's man coverage. Shedeur hasn't been good against man coverage. So
Yeah.
if you get him on the move, and then he's throwing to guys like Jalen Johnson and Nashawn Wright and CJ Gardner-Johnson, Kevin Byard, he's going to make mistakes 100%. I have Shadir Sanders for at least 2 interceptions in this game. Call me crazy, call me biased. I think he's going to give the Bears the ball at least twice.
Yeah, I think the over under is 1.5. I'd go with the over on that.
Yeah, I'm taking the over. I would definitely take the over.
Denzel Ward said he did leave with that calf injury late against Tennessee. He did not return to the ball game, and he has missed practice today. He is also dealing with a lingering shoulder injury and a toe injury, so he is pretty beat up.
Yeah, if I'm the Browns, I'd say, hey Denzel, why don't you take a day off here? But the guy's dealing with 3 injuries. Your season's lost. No point to making it any worse. There's no point to making it any worse. I mean, obviously, hope. Speaking out of hope here, but if he's out of the game, if Denzel Ward's out of the game, the Bears are going to kill him, guys. They're going to kill him.
Yeah, that's a huge uptick for the Bears.
Yeah. And Dustin is right. Our D line.
I agree, Dustin. But all you got to do is just create enough pressure to make them uncomfortable. You don't have to get to them. Just pressure them.
This is a game that the Bears D line should shine. If they want anything, they want sacks this game. They want pressures and sacks this game, because this is the team we can do it against. This is not a star-studded offensive line. I know our defensive line sucks, but if we get 1 or 2 sacks, I think that's a pretty good start for the defensive line.
And you want to know the truth? I sent this out. I found this earlier, diving into just some stats and stuff. But most turnovers caused by pressure since the start of the season. Byron Young is number 1 at 9. Jared Verse is number 2 at 8. Yeah, they're on the same team. TJ Watt at 7, and number 4 on that list. You got it.
Yeah, Jason's talked about that. Jason talked about that a couple of weeks ago, that Montez Sweat has been involved. His pressures have been involved in some of the most takeaways of any defensive lineman in the NFL. Like I said, guys,
the quality pressures.
You don't got to sack him 8 times. Just make him uncomfortable. Make him make mistakes, because he's going to. He's a rookie quarterback on a bad team, and I don't think he's that good. So he's going to make mistakes. And Vizzo, did you do that on purpose, bro? Did you do that because I said, if anybody in the chat compliments Jerry Jeudy, I'm sorry, man. Jerry Jeudy had 3 years to prove himself to me in Denver. He had a decent year last year. Outside of that, he's looked like the absolute dog shit since he joined the NFL. Yeah, Carl, I agree with that too. When you say Shedeur is really slow, do you mean physically or mentally?
Processing.
What are we talking about?
Processing is slow.
Talking. Speaking.
I thought it was slow in college. I will say this. I wasn't a big fan of Shedeur, but I do, outside of his debut, his first start, I should say, because it wasn't his debut, his first start against the Raiders, that after the game press conference was so gosh darn douchey of him. But everything else, all the media trying to bait him into saying things, I personally think he's done a really good job, and he has shown some signs of maturity. I just don't know that he is a long-term pro quarterback. And you know what? He got a chance to prove me wrong.
You guys, if you're the Browns GM, please answer this question truthfully, honestly. If you're the Browns GM and the Browns finish last and get the first pick of the draft, are you passing up on a quarterback because of Shadir Sanders and Dylan Gabriel, bro?
I would not.
Not a chance in hell.
Draft another 2 or 3 again this year.
That's right.
And Dwayne, maybe you're right. Maybe he's better than the 5th rounder. Maybe he's perennial backup, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. You know how much money Chase Daniels and Mitch Trubisky have made as backups in the NFL? It's a great job to have. But is he going to take them to the Super Bowl? No.
I mean, I guess you never know.
Yeah,
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
I strongly do not believe so. That's just my opinion.
You never know.
I think if the Browns do draft a quarterback next year, which I think they probably are going to, because if the Titans finish last place, they're not going to draft a quarterback. Yeah. There's a lot of teams who, if they finish last place, are probably not going to draft quarterbacks, because they just like the Titans just did. So the Browns are going to probably have their chance at one of the top 3 quarterbacks. If they pass up on a quarterback and say Shadir Sanders is our guy and he's going to bring us to, I think that would be the dumbest move in the history of the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they have 5 quarterbacks on the roster right now. That's not a good problem to have. That is not a good problem to have. And from what I understand,
Nuts is eligible to return now too.
Yeah, I think he's healthy. I think he can play right now. But they're just decided they don't want Deshaun Watson to play, and they obviously weren't impressed with Dylan Gabriel. He didn't get. I don't think he was like he's out for the season or anything, but they still went with Shadir Sanders over him. They traded Joe Flacco,
They shouldn't have traded Joe Flacco.
Shedeur Sanders doesn't look good to me. He doesn't look like he's going to be an NFL caliber, a franchise quarterback. If I'm the Browns, I'm drafting a quarterback.
Now, here's the Browns' problem. They got 2 teams with 2 wins, and one of those teams does need a quarterback in the Las Vegas Raiders because Geno Smith is ass, dude.
But I mean, how many? You figure what? At least 3 quarterbacks going to get drafted in the first round. It happens every single year. It's every single year. At least 3 quarterbacks are drafted in the first round. If you're the Browns and you're not one of those teams, I think you're insane. And if I'm Kevin Stefanski, I'd be like, you guys don't even have to fire me. I'm just going to leave because if you're not going to give me a quarterback, I'm just going to leave this team.
Yeah, and how do they figure out?
They gave me 5.
I guess I don't know this. Is it a coin flip or something? Because the Titans and the Raiders are both have 2 wins. The Jets and the Browns have 3 wins. How do they figure out who picks higher? Is it a coin flip? I don't know.
No, I think it's off your conference record.
Yeah.
So I think whoever has the better conference record is
a tie.
Then I think it goes to point differential or division record.
Oh, okay. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they do that in the NFL. I know how I do it in fantasy, but not in the real world. No, this game is honestly outside of the possible record that could be set from Shedeur or Myles Garrett. God, this is probably the least interested I've been in a Bears game all year. I expect them to win this game. The weather's going to suck.
It's not going to be ugly. It's probably not going to be. It's not going to be a ton of explosive plays. Although, guys, yet another week to evaluate guys like Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, Kyle Monungai, Ozzie Trapillo, and I like what I think Mikey said in the chat there. This is a good learning experience for Ozzie Trapillo. This is a good game for the coaches to figure out where exactly they think Ozzie's at. I mean, there are some really good things to watch in this game. I just don't think it's ever going to be a good game.
But it's going
to be an ass whooping. I think there's a good chance the Browns don't score in the first half.
And really quick, it did say, excuse me, Caleb Williams today in his press conference on the challenge of Myles Garrett. He said, we're excited for the challenge. He has a deep bag of tricks, whether it's the Euro step, his speed off the ball. It's going to be a good challenge for us. Everybody needs to account for him. We're going to try and make sure he doesn't get the sack record on us / on me. So,
I think everybody's trying, right? But
and the other mark, I really wanted to just touch on. Williams is just a little bit away. He needs 273 yards, which is going to be very hard to do in this absolute polar vortex the Bears will be playing in on Sunday. He needs 273 per game in order to break that elusive 4,000 mark and be that first passer. He's done that 3 times this year against Dallas, Baltimore, and Cincinnati. So we'll see how close he can get this weekend. But to me, the 4,000 yards, I can take that next year.
I don't care.
Yeah, I can take that next year. It's just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, sure. Like it'd be cool if it happens, but I certainly, if I'm Caleb Williams, I'm not like forcing the ball downfield so I can hit that 4,000 yard mark. Like if the Bears are running the ball at 5 yards a clip, then just run the damn ball and win the game. Get the hell out of there. I agree with all you guys when you say that the Bears are going to have to at least win 2 of these next 4 games to make the playoffs. So go beat the one team on your schedule that is an absolute must win, that you should beat the shit out of it, is not a good football team. And the Cleveland Browns.
And you guys, whoever said it in the chat was right. 22.5 is a tie. He needs 3 sacks to break the record, so he'd have to sack Caleb.
Oh, yeah. So I don't think he's going to break the record there. I don't think he's getting 3.
And then 2 of this other weird stat that I found. The Browns have 8 players with 6 tackles for loss, led by, obviously, the man beast Myles Garrett with the league-leading 31. The Bears only have 1 player with more than 4 tackles for loss, and that's Montez Sweat with 12. So there's something else in the run game you have to look forward to. I don't think I'm not coming in here saying I think the Bears are going to run for 257 yards on this team. I think that front is going to be a difficult challenge for the Bears. I do think they're going to win this game. I think they'll get their runs in enough. And hopefully I'm wrong. I wish they would run for 260, but I still think this is going to be a challenge for them, even though they're missing Malik Collins. If you lose Denzel Ward, that's another piece. Maybe they can get it done. I don't know. This is just a really weird game with that temperature. It's just got me thrown for a little loop, man.
I love
man.
I love what Bruce says here. He says need Stevenson back. What is there any update on Tyreek Stevenson?
I think they are projected to be back, but I don't know. I think they were like limited in practice today.
I'm gonna look.
I know Kyler did not practice for sure. I know that.
Yeah, and for most things, it looks like he's done, and that just sucks, man.
And I know Rome practiced in a
man.
limited participant practice today, but fracture in the foot. If I'm the Bears, I'm probably going to hold him out for another week.
You have no need to rush him back.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks missing Rome because I do think he brings a different dynamic to the Bears team that maybe DJ Moore and Luther Burden don't, because they do have different skill sets. But I'd rather him be healthy in the playoffs, or if you're going to try to make a playoff run against the Niners and Lions, than waste him in a game against the Cleveland Browns, man.
Well, the report here on Tyreek Stevenson says the last one that they have out says he's out week 14 versus the Packers, and he is not expected back anytime soon. He initially aggravated his hip against the Steelers in week 12 after dealing with the shoulder issue earlier in the year. He is currently week to week, and he was ruled out pretty early against the Packers last week. So we'll have to see. He might get ruled out early this week too. I don't know.
Dustin says if 11-6 doesn't get in the playoffs, I'll be sick. I agree, man. And isn't it just like our luck, guys, that the Bears are finally a relevant team in the NFL, and every other team in the NFC has 12 wins? I mean, like, it's ridiculous. This Bears team, as much as they have had a losing culture and they have put a lot of this stuff on the stuff themselves, they also do have some pretty shitty luck, man.
Yeah, they do.
This team might win 11 games and not make it into the playoffs. And there's going to be a team in the AFC that makes it into the playoffs with 7 or 8 losses.
And James, yes, Gordon signed a 3-year extension, $40 million extension, and I'm still not worried about Gordon. He'll be back, man. This happens. It happens, guys. Look at what's happening to Lamar Jackson. He's dealing with 4 injuries, and he looks like dog shit. It happens. It doesn't mean he's going to be done. I know he's got a history. That's why I'm saying get a rigorous workout program, get his body back into shape, see if you can figure out what's going on with Kyler so we can come back and have a strong 2026. That's my boy. I miss my dog, and I hope he gets healthy, and I hope he can come back and be an all-pro for the Bears in 2026, man. I really do. I love that dude. His jersey's hanging in my garage right now. Love that dude, man.
He's a damn good player, man. And like you said, Sean, it's a good point you brought up earlier that Dennis Allen kind of had planned on building this defense around Kyler, and he's one of the big reasons he came to Chicago. And here we are talking about a lost season for this guy. It's sad. It's disappointing. It's depressing as a Bears fan. It reminds me a lot of Mike Brown, because when Mike Brown was on the field, he was just a playmaker, but he just couldn't find a way to stay on the field. And I'm starting to get those vibes about Kyler Gordon, and it's depressing because that is the guy that Ryan Poles decided to extend and keep here for the next 3 years. And now he's becoming one of those guys where it's like, well, in the next 3 years, what is he going to play? 10 games, 12 games, 16 games? Like it's disappointing.
Yeah, we'll pray for him. But I do think we were talking about the off season a little bit ago. I do think you do have to look at some safeties and maybe
Bizzo, you heard me, man. He's a Spider-Man turned into Peter Parker.
I will say Kyler Gordon has the baddest shoes of any football player in the league too, man. I don't know if you've seen them, but they're orange and navy blue Spider-Man.
You guys, outside of the injury prone, there's nothing about Kyler Gordon I don't like. He's one of my favorite Bears by far. He brings the energy. He goes 100% all the time. He's constantly making plays all over the field. He can basically do anything. He can cover. You can go after the quarterback. He can stop the run. That's a huge loss for the Chicago Bears, and I don't think people outside of the Bears fandom, like when I talked to these Packers fans last week, where I'm like, you guys losing Kyler Gordon before that game was huge. And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever, bro. Like, I don't think you understand how much he means to this football team. It's just,
I don't think he's played more than 14 games in a season, though.
I don't think he has either. I think we're getting very Mike Brown getting very close. And Dwayne says Mike Brown never got hurt in practice, though. Yeah, I mean, I think he just re-aggravated an already existing injury, which he probably sustained in training camp or in the game. But yeah, that sucks, man. And when Tom Brady kind of nonchalantly said that the first quarter of that game, I was like, did he just say Kyler Gordon's not playing?
I said the same thing. I had to ask somebody at the bar. I was like, I think I asked your brother. I was like, dude, did he just say Kyler Gordon was out?
That was soul crushing. Soul crushing.
Yeah, it was soul crushing.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about, Jason, in the Browns game, or should we get into these pick sixes?
No, let's get into these pick sixes.
Yeah, let's get into the pick six.
Yeah, guys, if anybody in the chat has anything to add to the Browns game, usually we break down almost every really good player on the other team. I just don't feel like there's that much to talk about when it comes to the Browns. They have a damn good defense, terrible offense. The Bears have a much better roster, and they should win this game by double digits.
They better. They better, because I want the rematch against Green Bay, and I want it to be for the division. I want to shut all these assholes up north up, especially ESPN 1000 Milwaukee. They are dreadful pieces of shit. I can't even believe they're on the radio, dude. That is the worst show. They were the ones with the belts, built the asses, and they're so pathetic. And I cannot get them off my goddamn feed. I'm trying.
Do what I do. If it says Packers, I go and I report it as spam.
Unfortunately,
every time, dude. Every time.
Unfortunately, I have to keep it for the algorithms for the show. Unfortunately, what's up, Trax? Trax just jumped.
Oh, Romy, if the Bears lose to the Browns, you're not going to want to watch Monday's show. I get it. I mean, you should.
Oh yeah.
You absolutely should.
God, you do
because
not.
It's going to be a blast. But there's going to be some angry podcasters here. All right, guys, let's start off with the Bears and Browns. Everybody in the chat, what do you got, man? Who do you think's going to win, and what's your score prediction, Bruce? Jason, start us off, brother.
I'm going to say 20-10 Bears. I think you're right. I think it is a double-digit victory. I think they're good enough. I mean, look, it's very possible the Browns might not score any points, which would be amazing. But I think they're good enough to score 10 points. You know, we do have a slightly porous defense that does give up a lot of yardage. Also, Cleveland does play a significant amount since Shedeur Sanders has been the starter of 12 personnel. And the Bears are actually the sixth worst, give the sixth most yards to 12 personnel. So I do see them scoring, at least one touchdown, maybe a field goal late, who knows. So I'm going to stick with my 20-10, and God, I hope it's 50-10. But yeah, 20-10 Bears.
I like it. That's a good score, man. Breaking news: Bruce Sean has the Bears 25-10.
Well, we're all going to be pretty close. I already wrote my score down, so I'm not copying you guys. I already have it on the paper. I'm just waiting to tell it.
Mikey has the score 31-10 Bears.
Hold on. Bruce had 25. Bruce had 25-10.
Yep, Mikey had 31-10. Romy says Bears by a skid mark 17-6. Obviously.
Romy?
Yep, 17-6.
I don't mind that.
Okay.
James Houlihan 5467. Thank you for joining the show, man. We appreciate you, brother. I don't
what up, dude?
First he's joined the show today. He says the Bears win 49-3 against the Browns.
Who says that?
James Houlihan. I love it, James. Absolutely.
I like where your mind is at, buddy.
Yeah, I love it, brother.
We got Laz at 24-21. Vizzo.
Chicago Sports Podcast Track says the Bears are going to win, but they got the score under 20, so low scoring on the ground.
28.
Laz has the Bears, the Ben Johnsons 24-21.
The Tracks put a show up in here? A score?
No, you just predicted the Bears to win. Sean, you got the Laz 24-21.
I got Jay, Bruce, me, Mikey, Romy, Laz, and Vizzo.
Yeah, Vizzo's got 20-10. I'm gonna go Bears 24, Browns 9.
Oh my God. Avery, what score do I have down? Right there.
21-9.
I have 21-9. We're in lockstep almost, Kyle.
I think the only reason I have the Bears scoring that much, guys, because I know it's going to be a frigid cold day, and the Browns defense is really good. But I think there's going to be a case or a scenario in which when Shedeur Sanders does give the Bears the ball, he's going to do it like at the 15, 20, 30, 25-yard line, and the Bears are going to have to hop, skip, and jump into their way into the end zone. Sean Trax has the Bears winning 17-10.
I wrote him down.
All right, Sean, what do you got for us, man?
Let's
hear
see
it.
that Denver
Last week was tough, man.
Last week was tough, but yeah, we're definitely gonna start off with that one, Jay. We got
Sean, AC Adams in the house, 24-10. What's up, AC?
Here. This is why we gotta move fast. AC.
Avery, who do you got? You got the Bears?
Duh.
What, 100-0? What do you got?
26-14.
26-14. I like it.
All right.
That is a well-educated guess. I thought it was going to be like James there.
I just did it because those even numbers.
I like the strategy.
Sean, did you get AC Adam?
I did.
Let's move on to this Browns or this Packers Broncos
we got
game.
the Green Bay Packers out of the Denver mile.
You talk about another dogfight, man. These teams are going to beat the crap out of each other. They're going to be a very physical game.
I want Green Bay to walk away with like half their defense injured. That would be amazing.
Hold on 1 second.
Well, and they're going to be sore from last week, man. So the Broncos are going to get them at a good time.
I just want to look at the weather for Sunday. I spelled that wrong.
59 degrees.
Denver, Colorado. Oh, wow. It's going to be almost 60, dude.
Trax,
Wow.
I say the Bears finish the game with 220 rushing yards.
Romy, I love it, Romy. Broncos. What do you got? 28-27.
We have one more slot.
And I'm going to say this. My Uncle Bob passed away in Denver. He was a firefighter. They just had his funeral yesterday. I'm for him because he was a humongous Denver Broncos fan. I'm taking the Broncos with Romy. I'm going to take them. I'm going to take 28-20.
Well, we don't need our score predictions for these games, right, guys?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna pick it anyways, just to see how
Bruce,
close I am.
Bruce here has the Broncos. Mikey has the Broncos.
I'm taking Broncos, of course.
Romy, obviously, Sean, you already said has the
I'm
Broncos.
going to take the Broncos because I don't like the Packers.
That's right, Avery. You were taught well. Your dad did a good job. Sean, what was your uncle's name?
If he taught you nothing in life, he at least taught you that.
Let's do this one for Bob, man. I'm going to pick the Broncos to win this game, but I do think it's going to be a damn good game and a very close matchup.
Avery has the Broncos 22 and the Packers 0.
That's what I was kind of expecting for the last game, man. Giving the Browns more credit than the Pack.
Who do we got? Do we got Laz? Anybody else jumping in on this one? I'm missing. I got Mikey. He's taking Denver.
27-24.
27-24.
Yeah, Vizzo, I have not heard. Vizzo, I have not heard anything about that. Vizzo says off topic. Anyone know what the hell is going on with?
Yeah,
Michigan?
it was they fired him for cause for some type of inappropriate relationship with a staff member.
Oh yeah, he had an extramarital relationship, which is, I guess.
Why did he get arrested though? Was she underage?
That I have not been. I tried to look into that, and I have not been able to find anything on that yet.
Yeah, sorry, man, Vizzo. I actually haven't heard anything about any of this stuff at all. So this is all new to me. But
got it.
Okay.
We got Laz.
You took the Packers.
I am keeping track. I just went over this pre-show. I have every week right here that we've done, and one of these weeks I didn't have enough time, and we're coming up. We're coming up to the end of the season. I'm going to get these records for everybody because we are handing out prizes to somebody. Whoever wins, whoever beats us is going to get something. And I got a couple of 8x10s ready to go in the mail. I still owe John. I still haven't got John's out to Arizona, which I will do, John. I promise. I have it sitting on my desk.
All right. Well, I think a lot of these guys who are here.
Hey, real quick,
doing the Bears game, so we could probably move
real
on
quick.
to
It
that.
says, according to the Detroit News, there was an incident Wednesday with the head coach that required police attention. It's unclear what the incident was or what charges Moore may be facing should he officially be arrested. So he's not necessarily arrested just yet, but he is being
Well, I
detained and
mean, it
questioned.
was the Lions, so.
No, it wasn't. It's Michigan football.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
This is
if we're missing Laz and Vizzo and AC and Trax, if they want to jump in, throw them in Denver or Green Bay. We're gonna move it on down the road to Hollywood, where the Detroit Lions are heading to Hollywood to take on the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are coming into this ball game 5.5-point favorites. I am going to take LA.
Vizzo said Denver.
Vizzo has Denver.
I'm going to go with the Rams too with that beat up offensive line.
So Bruce has the Rams. Mikey has the Rams. Vizzo Joe has the Rams.
Who are the teams?
Detroit and the Rams.
Rams.
I'm going the Rams too.
Romy's got the Rams.
Okay, the Rams are gonna win 20.
Laz has got the Rams.
Hey, Les,
14.
who'd you have, Denver or Green Bay, buddy?
Oh wait, I already did that. 20 to 14.
20 and 14.
Yeah.
Avery likes picking the scores.
I'm gonna take Detroit.
Laws has.
Oh, Kyle's like, I need one on a Cadillac board over you guys.
No, I just have Jameer Gibbs in my fantasy team.
Well, he can still do well if the Lions not win the
Well,
game.
also, man, if the Rams lose,
Kyle,
they're-
we're
if the Rams lose, they're still in the playoffs. If the Detroit Lions lose, I mean, it's tough to play teams when their backs are against the wall and they know it's all or nothing. And the Lions looked a lot better last week than they did the previous
but
2
Kyle,
weeks.
You got to remember, the whole conference is separated by games. So the Rams, their backs are against the wall too. They have another team that's 10-3.
Yeah, who do the Rams finish against?
The Rams have Seattle on Thursday.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll take the
Yeah,
Rams in that game.
Huh?
I'll take the Rams in that game.
Is it in Seattle?
Yeah, the Rams go Lions, Seahawks, Falcons, Cardinals.
Yeah, so
I mean, the
Falcons and Cardinals, bro. So they got so I got 1 loss left on their schedule. And they'll finish it 13-4. Sean Trax asked, how many points are they giving Detroit?
Detroit is 5.5-point dogs.
5.5-point underdogs. Trax. I don't know, man. The Lions roster is just too talented for me to not make the playoffs somehow. I hope it's not in place of the Bears, but I do think that the Lions are going to find a way to. I think the only loss left for the Lions this season is the Bears.
They certainly do, Mikey. And I started Blake Corum last week because of the buys, and man, he got me 30 points.
Yeah, but it's tough to run on the Lions. It's easy to pass on them. It's tough to run on them.
I'm not. Well, I got a buy, so I don't have to worry about that this week. Thank God. All right, I think we got everybody on this one. Let's see. We got another battle, another team at noon as the Chargers leave Hollywood and head to Kansas City to take on the 6-7 Chiefs. The 9-4 Chargers are
Did you just say
5.5 point underdogs, or 5.5 point favorites against the Chargers at home.
I'm gonna say the Chiefs because they won 3 Super Bowls in a row.
No, they didn't win 3 in a row. But.
They've been in 3 in a row, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be a close one and be 22-20.
Okay.
These are actually very educated guys. These are not terrible guesses, bro. These are really breaking news. Bruce has the Chargers.
Vizzo has Chiefs, I see. KC. Bruce is going Chargers.
I don't want to take the Chiefs, but I'm going to take the Chiefs.
KC for
You said you
Jay.
kind of want to take the Chiefs, but you're gonna take the Chiefs.
Trax, I'm not sure about that game. I think
Which one?
Is the Lions game? The Lions
Bears
date
game on the
decided?
schedule is says January 3rd, January 4th. They haven't set the date yet.
Haven't decided yet. Sean, Mikey's got KC.
Mikey, KC.
Romy's got the Chargers.
Hey, Mikey, I missed your pick for the Rams and the Detroit.
I think he picked the Rams.
Rams.
Romy's got the Chargers. Laz has KC.
Yeah, Mikey did pick the Rams.
I'm going to go KC as well, and I'm going to have the same energy that Jay had there. I'll go Chiefs.
KC.
I don't want to, but they just seem to win. This is
Yeah,
the
and
time
it's
of
like-
year where the Chiefs sneak into the playoffs as a wild card, and then they go to the Super Bowl again.
Well, and every time I've picked them for the last 3 weeks, they've screwed me. But it's like it's the Chiefs, man. At some point, this team's got to start winning, right? It's the Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's Patrick
That's what I-
Mahomes,
that's
Rasheed
what I'm
Rice,
saying.
Like, where are the Chiefs?
So
Like,
far,
what happened to the
doesn't
Chiefs?
like one.
They did not look good against the Texans, but that Texas defense is playing out of its mind.
Texans defense is amazing.
Out
Well,
of its
dude,
mind.
I picked him. I picked him at the beginning of the year. I don't think he's going to win it because of obviously Myles Garrett. But man, if anyone's sleeping on how amazing Will Anderson Jr. is, I love Kyle. You remember the draft? I was begging for the Bears to do whatever they could to get that fucking guy. I love Will Anderson Jr. so gosh darn much. That guy is an absolute animal on the football field.
Yeah, he's a damn good player, and their defense in totality is damn. With him and Dino Hunter next to each other, I wanted the Bears to get Dino Hunter in free agency.
Hey, Dustin, we're keeping a record, and I am making a promise to everybody. I'm gonna have the records up next week. I have all the
This
papers
is like the
here.
sixth week he said.
Yeah, I'm doing it next week. I promise. I'm gonna have the records on one of these screenshots, and we're gonna put it up right here, and everyone's gonna be able to see it. It's coming next week. I promise. I promise. I promise.
What
Sean,
happened
did you
to
get
Mal-
everybody's pick on the Chiefs?
I did. Hold on. Okay, so another tremendously huge battle in the AFC East as my second favorite team,
Titans
the
Jets.
Buffalo Bills, head to
Oh.
New England to take on the Patriots. Buffalo sits 2 games behind them in the AFC East, and the New England Patriots at home are 1.5 point underdogs.
I'm going
in this
Bills.
ball game.
I'm going Bills, bro.
The
You know what? I want to go Bills, but I'm gonna go New England. I think they're just a better team.
Bruce has the Bills.
Yeah, boss.
Vizzo Joe has the Bills.
Hold on, Vizzo.
Mike.
Joe.
Mikey says Pats by a country mile.
I'm with you, Mikey.
Who says that?
Mikey said the Pats.
Did you pick the Pat? Oh, Jay picked it. I'm going the Bills, obviously. I want the Bills.
Laz
to be
Laz
favorite.
has the
I'll pick
Bills.
the
Sean.
Bills.
Laz has
And
Buffalo.
the Bills are going to win. For,
Wait
okay.
for it. Wait for it.
Suspense-
Today, Junior.
Suspense is killing us.
28 to
Close.
24.
28, 24.
That's,
All right.
another damn good score prediction.
Well, these are all right, dude. We're taking you to Vegas, dude.
you're 100%. You're,
Yeah, as of right
the
now,
rain man.
Dustin. As of right now, Dustin, I'm looking at the spread, and the Patriots are 1.5 point underdogs at home, man.
You guys
Rome-
with these
I was-
odd numbers.
I
are
was
gonna
I
win.
was actually kind of surprised looking at that too. I did not think the Bills would be favored. in this.
Sean, you got Romy's got the Bills. Did you get that?
Romy, I got Romy for the Bills.
Is that everybody? We missing anybody?
Bruce. What did
Bruce
Bruce?
had I think Bruce had Buffalo.
Bruce had the Bills. Let's pop Bruce on here and
Yeah,
ask
he's
him.
got- he's got-
I had the Bills. I had the Bills.
We had the Bills. All right.
Yep.
Vizzo, Laz. Did Laz throw one in on this one?
Yeah. he
Last
did.
is Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah.
Laz said Buffalo. Okay. Mikey has the Pats. Rome, Avery, Jay, Bruce, Kyle. Who'd you pick, Kyle?
This one.
The Bills. And
good Bills.
Avery, Mikey says Avery has the Pats losing 6-7.
Put that one up on the screen. 6-7.
I will never understand this. How many games we got left here?
We got one more. We're on to the last one. Let's take a look here. Those are about the marquee matchups of the day. Indiana, Seattle. Seattle's going to
I think
destroy that.
Seattle's going to win because I like Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, Jesus. How can I forget this? The AFC North. Another great battle as the two teams fighting for their playoff lives as Baltimore travels to the Queen City to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals at home are 2.5 point underdogs.
What are
Hmm.
the Bengals?
I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna go Ravens.
Ravens.
I'm gonna go Ravens.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
Ravens.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on. I couldn't hear you guys.
Ravens.
Ravens.
The
Ravens.
Ravens too for me because they're 6-7.
Oh my God. Mikey's got the Bengals.
Mikey's got the Bengals. Mikey, No,
Rome-
don't.
No, put
Romy's
Romy's
Romy's got Cincinnati.
I am taking 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing a game on here. Denver, the Rams, the Bills.
Did you do the Packers?
Oh, I'm taking KC. I'm gonna go with Joey B and the Cincinnati Bengals.
I knew where you were going. Romy's got Cincy. Vizzo Joe's got the Bengals. Laz has the Bengals.
The Baltimore.
You took Ravens.
Team. Yeah.
Justin also
And
likes
they're
Grey's
gonna
Anatomy.
16. Well, they're gonna win 17-16, 6-7.
That could very well happen.
Wait, that's
I think they're going to score more
actually
than that.
18-16 because it's not
I don't,
even.
Sean, you haven't told her who Joe Burrow is, have you?
What's that?
You haven't told her who Joe Burrow is, have you?
No, I would be going Joey B.
Grace alone,
Just
great
pick-
hospital.
just-
It actually is.
Avery, you just picked the Bengals. Joe Burrow to score 16 points.
Oh, I like Joe Burrow, but they're not 16-17. No, 6-7. So
So
All
how
right,
about
Kyle,
26-27? How about that?
Kyle, you taking Cincy, right?
I'm taking the Ravens. Yeah.
You're taking the Ravens?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
The Ravens in Cincinnati, huh? Bruce, who'd you have?
Ravens.
Ravens. Ooh, I might get one up on the Cadillac board here. Let's go Bengals.
Oh,
Vizzo Joe. Laz has Cincy. You got him. Did Vizzo put one in for this one?
I don't know.
Yeah,
No, he's
Bengals.
Bengals.
Bengals. Yeah.
Mikey Bengals, Avery. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. We got our
Yep.
pick 6.
Has
And
it been
next
week?
we're gonna have standings.
yeah.
I'm gonna do them during the Bears game. I'm gonna do them on football Sunday after the Bears game, so I don't have to be rushed during the week to get it done.
I will not be helping you because Jay and I will be in a
What'd you say?
massive. I will not be helping you because Jason and I will be in a massive fantasy matchup. I'll be watching the 3 o'clock.
Oh, that's
every
right.
play
You
on
two guys are
Monday.
playing each other this week in the Big
Oh.
Money League.
What's
Awesome.
up, Razzle Dazzle?
Oh, what's up, Razzle?
What's up, Rizzo?
Hey man,
Wow.
Jason knows me. He knows I don't talk shit. But I hope the best. May the best man win. As long as Tom doesn't win.
As long as- you know what? I'll talk way too much smack this year. I'm with you.
Yeah, for a guy, I've been in this league for 4 years. This guy's never made the playoffs, and all of a sudden he's
No.
like, I have so many good players. I need to trade some of mine away. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, bro, come on. What are you talking about?
Oh, been missing you, Razzle, man. Welcome back to the show, buddy. You showed up just in time because we're about to put a bow on it.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a chance on Monday. Relentless Mikey, you were out there. For anyone that's watched this show later, everyone that showed up to River Street Tavern on Sunday from 4 stars
We
to River
love
Street
you.
Tavern. We
Mhm.
love you guys so much. We thank you. We raised the most money we've ever raised at one of these things. The first time,
800.
Avery. The first time we had the entire restaurant packed, the entire bar packed, and everyone contributed, raising money for people a little bit less fortunate than us around the holidays. I couldn't be more happier. Bears community, you guys rock, and I couldn't be more proud, man. Honestly, I sat, Kyle, when you were sitting in between the dining room and the bar, and I turned around and I looked at the dining room full, and then I looked at the bar full, man. I was like really overcome with happiness. Like I really was, man. Just
I can see it on his face.
He obviously wasn't watching the Bears game. Yeah, no, it was awesome, man. What a great showing. That was probably the most successful one we've had. And to be honest with you guys, I mean, I don't really know if we can fit any more people in there, so it might be as successful as it can be. So
Yeah.
thank you so much to everybody who showed
Yes.
up. Thanks
Yes.
to everybody in the chat tonight, as always, man. Take
Yep.
care of yourselves so you can take
Thanks,
care of
everybody.
each other.
hey, and don't forget tomorrow night we have Dustin and Brandon on the bare minimum. They're going to be here at 11:30. And if
But
you
what
do
if
not-
that's past my bedtime?
well, I have a good suggestion. I think that on your way to work, you should grab a cup of coffee and listen to the show on your way. And if you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
finish it,
Yeah.
you should have
I'll
any
do that.
left. But then don't
Yep.
forget, we will be back Sunday with our final thoughts, final predictions, final injury reports as we do our 4 stars kickoff show for the Bears and the Browns from a frigidly cold lakefront in Chicago.
Yeah.
As the Bears will finish with 3 of their last 4 games at home. So hopefully,
Sean, is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here? Before we wrap up?
yeah.
Anything you want to get out there before we wrap up? Shit. Fuck Green Bay.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's that time.
Yes, though.
We, you know what? We'll do double. We'll do double. We'll do double.
Good, better, bad. Never let it rain. Never let it rain. You're good, get better. You're good, get better. You better get better. You better get better. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bears!
I have that speech memorized.
That you should.
Yeah.
Until next week, everybody. We
Yeah.
love you all.
Love you all. Yep.
Kyle?
Thanks, everybody.
But it gets rest.
Yep. Take care of yourselves. So you could take care of each other.
Yes.
Love you guys, man. Appreciate
Yes,
you.
guys.
Yep.
Peace and love,
Peace.
everybody.
Stay warm. Be
Wow.
safe.
Yep.
And bear down.
Bear down.